which apparently is a city or something. Not really sure on the details. I don't really care as long as it has a distinct lack of dragons above it. On the way, winter set in, and snow began to fall. So I rigged up the horses to basically build a snowplow so that we would have an easier time walking through the forest. This worked rather well. It was a bit costly in terms of spell points, but it got us. But it got us where we wanted to go, which was apparently this plateau with a shack in the middle, standing stones all around it, and three old crones. Revert, of course, you know, basically started to freak out because naturally these guys are hags. So he's like, setting up to just begin raining down unholy artillery upon these people when Agatha goes inside and makes friends. There's some bargaining. There's some trading. Agatha may or may not have made a deal with these hags. And then we left. At one point we got turned around and ended up coming back to the mesa, but we sorted that out and just kept going. Blizzard set in. We camped for the night in a tiny hut. During the night, there were some crazy batshit things outside the hut, but they couldn't get in, so it's not a problem as long as no one left the hut. So Reverend went back to sleep. Of course, somebody decided to go sticking their face outside of the hut for God knows what reason, and promptly got mauled.
Yep.
This will teach them to stick their face outside of the tiny hut when they can't see what they're sticking their face into. Reverend hopes this will impart a lesson of sorts. He's not exactly sure of what the moral of this lesson is, but he's pretty sure something was learned.
I think mauled is a bit of an understatement.
But no one died, so it's okay. End of gnome log.
Yep. It's fairly accurate. So you guys are still within the hut. Your rest has gone successfully. You had to sleep in a little late, and it is still snowing. The snow at this point, I mean, it's only been piling and piling, so it's like 2 feet deep around the hut.
Okay. That's not a problem. We got
This-
skis.
Yeah. Fortunately for the 1 foot tall gnome.
Yeah.
You made those skis. You made those skis out of wood, correct? You
Yes,
oofed
and
a tree.
Yeah, I oofed a tree, and I used some of the fat from the elk to.
That's right.
When I was fabricating it, to like embed it throughout the wood.
Imbued.
Yeah, so they're imbued with the elk fat.
Yes. It's the grease
guys.
enchantment. All right. So yeah, what would you guys like to do on this lovely winter morning?
I would like to learn a moral from last night's event.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Nat 1. Nat 1. Damn it.
An unlucky 13.
Something about beavers. You don't know. You're not sure what it is.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh no. I think Agatha still looks mortified just by how extensive the damage was to his face. Like, she won't make it super obvious, but her demeanor clearly changes.
Idol is
What
actively
happened to him?
So he got mauled by a bunch of invisible things last night. All the damage was focused to his face. He almost died.
Oh, definitely. Torment's definitely going to say something about that. Torment will not keep his mouth shut. He will definitely say something.
Yeah, I mean, he has visible scratch marks, like huge visible scarring across his face, like talons have torn through his face, and there is a small piece of the end of his nose missing. I mean, missing's a strong word. It's still there, somewhere around there.
I gave it to him. I think he just tossed it out.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
might have
I
tossed
just
it out
threw
of
it in
the
the woods.
you know.
yeah,
Something fucked you up.
the classic intelligent play of throw a missing body part into the woods inhabited by witches.
I mean, to be
Yes.
fair, most of our hairs, like, there's probably at least one strand of hair somewhere in there while we were there.
What's everybody's passive perception?
14.
12!
Yeah, 14, I think, was the highest.
14?
Insufficient.
14's fine. A 9 ain't gonna do it though. The woods look different. They don't look like where you set up camp. The trees are in a different spot.
Warford, do you remember that tree being there? I don't remember that tree being there.
AGR, do I remember that tree being there?
He's a woodsman.
That tree? No, not that tree. You'd recognize that tree. Now that other tree next to it, I don't know. There's a million trees just like it in these woods, but that tree in particular, no. You definitely know that tree was not there last.
Oh
With my
my
expert
god.
knowledge of trees, I can confirm none of these trees are trees that we saw last night.
So we were somehow moving while standing still. Or everything around us is shifting.
Wait, who did the what now?
You don't realize this isn't the same place we camped out.
I look around. I assume it looks like a forest, right?
It looks like a forest, yeah.
It's a forest. What do you want?
Reverend, this
No, no, no,
magic.
no, no, no,
There's some
no,
kind of magic going on here. Figure it
Okay,
out.
I paid attention to this small detail. Okay, there was that tree over there, that had a branch that twinned out, and I can't find that tree. Like, this is not the same place we camped out.
Well, are you sure it's not the same? Are you sure we actually moved and that it wasn't the place that moved while we stayed still?
One of those things happened. I don't know which it is.
Okay.
Where-
Well, if you guys are willing to wait 10 minutes, I can do a detect magic ritual.
Sure.
All right,
No problem,
so
Reverend. Take over.
Revert stands there and goes, whoa, low, low. Is there magic?
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what I can actually tell you about what's going on based on that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the woods are giving you a faint spooky sense. Like they have been affected by magic recently and may currently be under some kind of magical effect.
Okay. Is there a school of magic associated with that, or is it generic?
I think it is there's no school to associate.
Okay. I'd like to approach one of these trees.
Okay.
Like I want to get to within touch
I
range
guess
of
if
it. Does
anything,
anything happen?
it might be conjuration, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
No, nothing happens when you touch a tree. It's a tree.
Okay.
Feels like a tree.
Feels
Sounds
like a tree. Sounds like a tree. but there's slight edginess to
Looks like a
some-
duck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
If
so
it
it's probably
falls in the forest, nobody's
well.
around
It's
to
one of
hear it,
those.
so-
It's one of those. If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it probably isn't a cow.
Till
But it's not a duck either.
Can
No, it's a
I?
mimic.
Could be.
So is this tree one of the trees affected by this edgy conjuration magic?
It's not just the trees; it's really the whole space.
Okay, but it's also affected by it. Can
Yeah.
I investigate for specific magical effects? Specifically, I'm looking for evidence that something has been translocated, like bits of like grain and like the dirt and stuff doesn't match up correctly. I'm also looking for evidence of illusion magic. Like, is this actually here?
Absolutely. Yeah. Arcana. Okay. So with all the snow, it's really hard to tell. Like, I think with your amount of knowledge, you would definitely reasonably suspect that the area is shifting around you, but you can't find any hard evidence in the snow.
Okay. Is the sun correct?
That's a good question. No. No. It doesn't seem like it's in the same spot from where you pitch camp. Your orientation has changed.
Better it's like a different time or something,
Well,
perhaps.
you know, as you go up through various latitudes, the inclination of where the sun crests the horizon at morning would be different. So yeah, we've been moved. It's still like early morning, right? Sunrise.
It's not early morning, it's late morning.
Okay. Is like you know how sometimes you can see in the morning the moon still during sunrise?
Mm-hmm.
Is the moon there? Can I see the moon?
Yeah, you see you can see both the moons.
Okay. Correct moons. It's not like we're suddenly looking at Phoebos and Deimos type thing.
You see the correct moons. It takes you a minute to find them. Once you orient yourself, it's not tough.
Okay. Um Revert has no real skills with this, so he wouldn't know how to do that. So, okay. Yeah, so it looks like we've been moved. Us and this whole surrounding area.
What do you mean we've been moved?
Um, Good news and bad news. We didn't stay still while stuff moved around us. It's rather like something grabbed that whole section of the world we were in and put it somewhere else in the world. But this
Is that the good
probably
news or
our
the
world.
bad news?
That's the good news. The bad news is I have no idea where we are.
AGR, I forget. The sun always rises from the west or the east.
Rises in the east.
All right. Do we have a general sense of direction where we're supposed to go to the city?
It was generally in a northward direction, in like the vaguest sense.
All right. Well, we can just look at this. Well, look at the direction of the sun, then go to the right.
Well,
Wait.
north would be left, but
Yeah, that's right.
we don't know where we are. For all we know, we are north of the city, and we should go south. We also could given how we kind of had to stay late because of the festivities last night, we could be in a whole different hemisphere.
I'll send my owl up to see if I can recognize any landmarks that might be just over the horizon?
Since I'm a
Really long
barbarian and
horizons.
am used to sleeping outside, can I roll a survival to see if I can figure out where we are? Or a insight?
Never been in these woods in your life. And this is probably also like some of the most snow you guys have ever seen in like one batch. This has been a pretty heavy snowfall. Usually it takes a little longer. You get snow regular where you guys are, but it tends to not be quite this intense. Your winters are usually not this harsh this early. Okay, so let's run back through what does everyone want to try to do? Mister, you wanted a survival check to see if you knew where you were?
Yeah.
I mean, I can pretty much guarantee you don't know where you are, but you can make a survival check.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can hear any music?
Sure. Perception check. So Agatha, you don't hear any music at first, but after concentrating for a moment, you do start to hear it faintly in the distance.
Does it sound like the viol that I heard earlier?
It sounds the same.
I'll go ahead and communicate that to the party. And I assume Torment has something to tell us.
I don't know. Do I have anything to say?
So
Did I figure
Torment,
anything out?
yeah, based on that survival check, yeah, you don't really get any pertinent information beyond that the winter is unusually cold, unusually early. This is a lot for the.
Are we
just the
further
rate.
north than what I assume we are further north than we started?
I don't
You
think
don't
we have
know.
enough information. Yeah, guys, I have no fucking clue where we are, but I can hear that same music off in the distance in that direction. That viol that we heard a couple of days ago.
I'm going to send my owl up, look through its eyes, and just look around to see if there's any landmarks behind trees or just over the horizon or anything that I can identify.
Okay. You send your owl up. Visibility is about 50 feet out because of all of the fog, like the fog and the wind and the snow.
Guys, I hate suggesting it, but I think our only solid clue is the music. That typically indicates signs of life, and hopefully they're not hostile. And even if they are, we might be able to pick up a clue where we're at.
Wait, isn't the creepy music what led us to the old ladies in the first place?
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna have to confront this if they're possible that type of magic. I don't know.
If it's that type of magic, we set up a base of fire. We get our guys in close without being acknowledged, and we let them have it with everything we got. Surprise attack is the best way to deal with these type of people.
Yeah, let's just bum rush them and kill them in their sleep.
I hate how they were nice to us, but
I would not call this nice if they are
that's the only way
responsible.
it makes sense. Yeah. Well, sir,
Kill them.
what do you want to do, Sir Jacob?
Sir Jacob is sitting there shivering, saying, "I want to go somewhere warm, and sit in a nice hall with a nice warm fire."
You know, you whine a lot.
And then when he stops for a moment and looks at Torment, and then he continues and he says, "And then when this winter is over, I want to bring 100 men down here with torches and burn this whole forest.
You have spooky magical woods?
Um,
While
audio
everybody's
cut out on my
deciding,
end. What are we burning?
These haunted forests.
Oh.
while everyone's deciding what they want to do, I'm just going to ritual cast another tiny hut, and then if that goes off without problem, just create a bonfire right in the middle to keep it warm.
Yeah, this might be a good time to mention that we do have 5 sets of spare cloaks, right? We should distribute those to those that do not have them at the moment. I assume the sir is wearing one of them.
Yeah. He's currently wearing 2.
Ah, he was not done with it.
I don't think he'll be done with it until we get someplace warm.
I realized that apparently I do not have a winter cloak.
Should probably grab one. And I
I
believe,
think I will.
what's Pete? What's your character's name?
Gumbo.
Gumbo. I believe you didn't have a cloak. You should grab one too.
All right.
Anyone else?
Burley can grab one.
Go for it.
I'll get one, because why not?
I mean, distribute them how you like. But yeah, the snow continues. You guys distribute your cloaks and you hang out by the warm fire for a little while. It's probably about lunchtime by now. Everybody's warmed up about as much as they're going to get. There is a pause in the snow. It looks like it could start again at any time, but for the moment it has stopped.
Could we have also cooked and eaten some of that meat that we have? I believe someone had a bonfire up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. AJR, how small is this dream catcher that I got?
It's not particularly large. It's about as big around as your head. Like the
Oh.
main body, and then it's got stuff that hangs down below it.
Oh, I was thinking about tying it to my longbow. That doesn't sound like a good idea. All right.
I mean, if you wanted one that was trinket size, you'd probably have to go back. They have things like that.
No, thank you. Can I still hear that music?
No, but you concentrate for a second, you do.
Do we have any other suggestions on where to go other than follow the music?
I say following the music might be a bad idea.
It's probably a bad idea, but it'll probably give us a sense of direction.
Music generally means people. There's at least a 20% chance they won't be hostile.
That's what I'm thinking.
Only 20? Wow.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to fight them. I mean,
There's a 1 in
weird shit
5
going on.
chance that they won't try to kill us on sight.
You got that magic stuff to send a person-like thing from a distance.
What?
I've seen you do magic stuff, to make things that aren't real look real, I think. Am I wording that right? Illusions, yeah.
Yes, I have some illusory magic.
Yeah, we can try that to determine whether they're hostile or not, maybe. Anywho, yeah, the music.
So what about the music?
I'll be right back.
All right.
I guess we just start heading that way, since that's the only idea so far.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sure. You head in the direction of the music. You walk for about 20 minutes and you come upon the same exact place. You are on the same side of the same house. Same hut on the same ridge. Same circle of stones around it. And the same 3 ladies all trying to shovel snow off of that ridge. As a matter of fact, with a passive perception of 14, you notice that at a distance there's a little bit of light, and one of them appears to have been using a spell, like some sort of fire spell, to remove snow before noticing you, and switch to the shovel.
Yeah, Agatha's gonna pause for a moment, but she's not gonna be rude. She'll awkwardly hand wave. Clearly looks distressed.
They all give you that awkward neighbor wave.
I'll look back to the party. I think
Should we
they
ask him
noticed
what the
me.
fuck? Did we ask him what the fuck's going on?
They probably know a lot. They might be causing it. I don't know.
They are continuing to shovel snow now.
Oh, is Under back?
Yes, I'm back.
What do we do?
Well, the only thing I know about magic is the way to end it is to kill the one that cast a spell.
I mean,
Sometimes that's not
So if they're
true, right?
so if they're doing it, then we kill them.
Like if
We
someone
don't
put
know
a
they're
pox
doing
on you,
it
that might be
yet.
permanent.
Agatha, go ask them for an explanation about this weird ass magic bullshit going on.
But there's no way I'm going there alone. There's no way in hell I'm going there alone. Gods no.
I'll go with.
I can
Wilfred.
accompany.
And
Alright.
if it's them, give us the signal and we'll nuke the place.
What's the signal?
We'll
I don't
know.
Attack him?
We'll probably run away. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Just say the code word, Brevert, kill them.
Okay. Hopefully we can work this out. I hope to God. I'm ready to go, guys, when you are.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Ooh, the barbarian's going too. Neat.
Idle's going to hang back with Revert.
Okay. So I'm sorry, could you post a list of the people walking up to the hut? You guys have to walk around the ridge or climb it. So
Oh.
it's not a huge
I'm going to
climb or
mold
anything,
earth a
it's just like
ramp
10
on
feet.
our side of the ridge so we can get up there easy.
Okay.
Idle's going to give Sir Jacob
Oh.
the short bow and arrows that she had, and then help Revert with the fortifications.
So it's hard to mold earth or ridge because you can't see any exposed dirt in this space. It's like a lot of snow. They haven't gotten to that side yet, so everything is like snow covered.
You can start digging through the snow.
I've got Mage Hand.
So you burrow a little hole and start slowly extracting earth from under.
Well, once I just want to like. No, you wouldn't know how to do that shit. I keep applying too many modern ideas to shit.
The struggles of being a very smart person.
I take one of my 60 flasks of oil, I light it, and I just kind of toss it forward a bit like a Molotov out of the danger zone. But I basically melt the snow with a blast of fiery oil.
Okay. You make a large, large, like very, very wet mud puddle, which, you know, will probably within the next few minutes begin to freeze.
Right, but while it's muddy, I can use mold earth on it, get it out of the way, get to the earth beneath it, build ramp.
Yeah, you can. So, yeah, you guys all see a little fire bomb go off, and the three ladies seem moderately disturbed by that. But when their house doesn't catch on fire and nobody starts attacking them immediately, they chill. Although you do hear like a shriek, like, stop that this instant kind of sound. But yeah, you make your ramp.
Okay, then I guess we go to the top of the ridge. The away team goes forward. Revert begins to set up.
Okay. So yeah, you guys walk around or you walk up the ramp and you get to the ladies who are all shoveling snow. Um, Agatha and Agnes both turn to you while this other unnamed lady is still hunched over shoveling in the other direction, paying you very little mind. And yeah, Agnes will voice up and says, "Oh, what brings you lot back here? I thought you were in a hurry to get out of here."
Yes, good afternoon. That we were. This forest moved us around. I don't honestly know. I know for sure that we weren't in the place that we camped when we woke up.
The unnamed lady who hasn't been speaking to you is laughing. She's snickering, and Agatha kind of turns around and gives her a little smack, just like a playful shove on the shoulder, like not to make fun. And Agnes says, "Oh, it sounds like you guys have made a friend. Then that'll be old Gunther. Yeah, he's a nice old man, but he's been on this stick recently. He's been kind of a pain in the ass for the past few winters. Yeah.
Who's Gunther?
Oh, he's a lovely old man that lived. Oh, he lived. Oh, she wouldn't say old man. She would probably say young man. He was a lovely young man who lived uh, down down a ways, uh, downstream from them, and they would see him every once in a while. But he hasn't stopped by uh, recently, and they kind of bicker amongst themselves a little bit. Um, about how many winters it's been since they've seen him. Uh, one of them says 7, one of them says it's been like 11, and they kind of bicker back and forth. And they talk about that one winter when uh, the bears ate all the berries and they couldn't find any, and blah blah blah. They go on for a few minutes, not even realizing like they've lost track of you completely.
Insight check to see if like they're lying about Gunther and like it being like
Sure.
Oof.
You have no idea.
They're
You
totally
have
lying. Kill 'em.
absolutely no idea. You actually can't even follow the conversation. They've been talking about bears.
I just zone out.
So, oh yeah. Also, there was another thing about the last night's camp. There were things out there with claws or teeth, something unnatural, terrifying. I never had a look at it, but
They ate my friend's nose.
Yeah, and they froze his dick.
it got one of us. What
I'm
are
sorry, they
those?
did what to his dick?
They froze his dick.
Uh, what?
I'm gonna like
One of the
side kick Basil.
ladies takes your hand and pats you on the back of the hand and says, "You poor young man, are you okay?"
His face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was horrible.
When you say his face, they all immediately look at Wilfred's face, and they say, "Oh, hmm.
What
Well,
were
you know,
those things?
if you just, and then one of them brushes Wilfred's hair back over his face to block as much of it as possible. There you go, dear. That's much better.
Do you have any
Thank
idea
you.
what the hell those things were? What could have possibly done that? That's no wolf. I know.
I'm sure they're just some of Gunther's little friends. They get ornery at night, you know. You should you should have really thought about taking our invitation. You're certainly still welcome to make camp around here. You can wait out the winter. It'll be perfectly safe.
So Gunther gets mad in the winter or something? Like, what the hell? We don't even know this guy. What have we done to him?
I've never seen Gunther mad. Never in my life have I seen that poor boy mad. He was the sweetest.
Christ, his company is horrible. Look what he did to my friend.
It builds character.
Jeez.
You hear you hear the lady in the back who's not looking at you, who's shoveling. She mumbles something about should have stayed in the hut.
Did I actually hear that?
You heard it. I mean, she was mumbling it in like a sarcastic and mean way, trying to mumble it, but not really trying to hide it.
Have you ladies been spying on us? How do you know about that?
I think she means the hut.
Oh. Oh. That awkward moment when we both had a hut. Ah.
Drat. Hold on, I had to get it myself.
So the lady say, "Well, is there anything we can do for you, dears? I'm sorry if Gunther's taken a liking to you. He might give you some teasing. You might have a hard time."
Gunther's super mean. Like, how
What is
wide are these
Gunther?
forests? How wide are these forests? If we can get out in a day, maybe we can just get out of his.
They all laugh a little bit and force it down, except the girl in the back. She continues to laugh as the other two try to talk over her and kind of flash her like the evil eye. So they'll say, oh dear, you won't be getting out of here in a day." You won't be getting out of here at all unless you go speak to Gunther about it.
Oh.
You're still welcome to wait out the winter. I'm sure he'll be tired of you by then. He tends to get into this get into this mood around this time.
Guys, can you remind me how many days it took for us to get to this point? Was it just like one day for us entering the forest, or I forget? Maybe we can just leave and circle
It was
around.
like 3 days.
Fuck me. Well, where can we find Gunther?
Oh, out there, and she'll point out into the woods.
That's
Don't worry, dear. If you go looking, I'm sure you'll find him.
but don't we like call his name 3 times or something? Is he the type that finds us?
They all kind of giggle a little bit, and they none of them really say anything in response to that. But one of the ladies, I guess, after a moment, will say, "Oh, don't worry, dear. I'm sure you'll manage. I'm sure you'll manage." And she kind of paws her hand like in an old lady way of saying, "Oh, pay it no mind. I'm sure it's fine."
Yeah, he was able, or Ed, I don't know who, but Gunther was able to just undo hours of walking. He could have us here indefinitely, and
Oh, he can't. Nobody can. Listen, I'm sure you all got plenty of good cardio out of that, some good exercise, and he can never take that away from you, dear.
I just want to go home. Why can't he leave us alone?
Oh, yeah. The forest is terribly dull when it's the middle of winter and you don't get out much. I'm sure he's just bored. And his little friends get really nippy.
Out of curiosity, why do his friends look like people with spooky faces?
Um, the response from these 3 is almost in unison, different versions of, "Have you looked in a mirror lately?" They
That
all
doesn't
try
answer
to
the
be
question.
they all try to be polite about it, but they're like, "You're a spooky person." What?
Okay, that's fair.
Their response is generally, um, like, you you shouldn't talk down about them for their appearance.
Get absolutely memed on, kid.
Yep.
Oh man. I got a text message and then the next thing I saw was this. Hold on. And it just amuses me. It'll take me a minute to fetch this. I had Reddit open on my phone. So as soon as I checked my text, this is what I was greeted with.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Have there been other people like us that wandered their way into the forest and were somehow able to appease this Gunther? To let them go.
Well, Gunther is really very friendly. He's a very friendly guy, and I'm sure if you go hash it out with him, you'll all hash it out, and you'll make fast friends. It'll be fun.
Can I make an insight check to see if they believe that?
Yeah. I mean, it seems on the up and up to you. I mean, like they're hard to read, but
Yeah, I don't.
they don't say anything that sounds like they're obviously being sarcastic or anything.
Uh,
And
based on
you've
how,
heard them be sarcastic before. This doesn't seem sarcastic.
yeah, based on how they treated my friend, I don't think that's possible. It's quite hostile.
I'd certainly like to hash it out. And I just pat myself.
I mean, to be fair, we were skulking around the wood when that happened. It might just be that they become anxious at night as they.
Maybe, but moving us around was completely unnecessary. We want to get out of here too if they don't like us.
Well, let's go and try to meet them.
Agnes turns and kind of whispers to Agatha.
Which
And
Agatha?
you not this Agatha, her Agatha, and says you can hear her. She says something about going to fetch some cocoa, and so Agatha walks towards the hut.
Wherever it is,
And
where we go.
once she's out of sight, Agnes is going to say, "Never you mind, dears. You're welcome to stay here. You won't get home fast, but you will be perfectly safe.
That's
After all, it's the least we can do since you're going to deliver that necklace for us. It's really no trouble."
I appreciate a friendly neighbor, especially in the middle of nowhere, but we got very important news to deliver. The longer it takes for us to give that news, the more people could be in jeopardy.
Well, dear, I'm afraid if you're in a hurry, you're going to have to go speak to Gunther.
How do we even meet him, though? Like, your directions are super vague.
Maybe that's the purpose.
She's going to look at you and say, "Do you remember how you just told me that the forest moved you around?"
Yes, that's because I only paid attention to this, like, one particular tree, and I noticed it wasn't there anymore. The only reason I was even able to find my way back here to you guys was because of the lovely music I heard.
She's going to say, "I promise directions won't help you.
I think
You
she's
will find him."
I think she's talking about the forest will move us to Gunther.
You found
Yeah.
us, didn't you?
Yes, but I think you guys wanted us to find you or other people. I mean, we followed the music. It brought us here.
Agatha, I think you're overthinking this. I think we just need to walk out in the woods with the intent of finding Gunther, and therefore we will find Gunther.
All right, maybe you're right. It's just it isn't the first time things looped for me. The last time, Agatha's gonna like hesitate for a moment, but seeing how these are
The unnamed girl will say, "You should be more careful near strange bodies of water." She will mumble that.
oh no, Well, actually, I suppose it was a strange body of water. It was a bog in a different area. What are they? The fuck they call it? Elfheim. Yes, Elfheim. There was a talking tree that was super nice, and then like trapped me for a month, and I literally could do nothing until it
The
was just
unnamed hag says typical.
yep.
She mumbles typical, and kind of you can see her do the eye roll in this exaggerated way, even though you're staring at the back of her head, because her whole head moves in this eye roll motion.
Yeah. It's too bad no one publishes a book about like etiquette in different dimensions. That would have been super helpful.
Agnes
What is
will
Gunther?
tell you, dear, people are horrible in all dimensions.
Yeah. I mean, he let me go. It's just that man, it was horrible. But I don't think we could really.
So Agatha's returning with the cocoa by now, and there's a tray with the mismatched dishes, and she starts handing it out, and she will say to Wilfred that Gunther's just a misguided young man. He's going through a phase right now, and then she's going to turn around and go back inside the hut because she needs to deliver more cocoa. She didn't offer any of you cocoa yet, but you get the feeling that's why she's going back inside, is to fetch you all cocoa.
Mm.
But is Gunther human?
Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't.
Does it matter if he's human? Some of us aren't human.
She's going to say, that's awful racist coming from a Goliath.
Yeah, but you're talking
my
about
God.
Gunther. You're talking about Gunther being a man, and we could get over there, and he'd be a frost giant. That's a big fucking difference. You see what I'm saying?
Language. We're speaking to some very nice people here.
She's going to say, dear, just have some cocoa and relax.
I love swear words, but yes, not all do. I'm sorry. I'm just watching. Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Listening. I'm sorry. Not watching. Listening.
So after a minute, Agatha will come out and offer some cocoa to Agatha and the rest of you.
I'll accept Coco, and I'll thank her.
I too will accept cocoa. And
Yeah,
while I'm drinking this cocoa, I'll be looking around to see if I can find a smaller charm, a smaller dream catcher. Maybe fit to put at the end of my
They were all
longbow.
inside, so you'd have to go inside. You'd have to
Oh,
you'd
Yeah,
probably
I'll
have
go
to
inside.
inquire.
yeah, let's do that. I will inquire.
Hmm?
Free cocoa, inquire within.
Yeah, this
Sure.
dream catcher is lovely, and it actually helped me. I totally expected nightmares from what I saw and heard in the middle of the night. Do you happen to have a smaller one? I'd love to tie it at the end of my longbow.
Make a persuasion check.
How much like a white van does this hut look like?
So Agnes is going to say, I'm sorry, dear, limit one per customer. But if you'd like to give yours to your friend, or if you'd like to swap them around, one per customer, though.
Okay, I'd love to swap them around if that's possible.
Absolutely. Let me have yours, and I'll go fetch you a new one.
Okay. Now hand her that dream catcher.
And she brings you out a much smaller charm-sized dream catcher. And she says, The range on this one's not as good. Keep it close to your head.
Yeah, keep it on my person. Will this like good luck thing clash with a rabbit's foot by any chance?
You asked her.
Yeah.
She says, "It's a dream catcher. It eats dreams. That's literally what it does. It does. That's it's what it says on the tin. I don't think so. It doesn't eat rabbit."
Gotcha. Thank you. Well, hope to God we can sort out this Gunther situation. You ladies have been very helpful.
They all quietly just stand there and drink cocoa for the next minute or two, just kind of looking at you guys, giving you awkward smiles, like, "Well, this visit has been lovely, but you should go now." But now, not saying that, but giving those vibes.
Yeah, I mean, Agatha was fixing to get there, naturally. I think we already,
Yeah, taking the hint, Wilfred's gonna walk towards the spooky woods.
I'll go ahead and leave the cup and thank him for the hot cocoa, if I received any.
Yeah, you did. And yeah, so everybody puts their cocoa cups back, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they will. They'll tell you that the visit's been lovely and kind of shout back to visit again, and to keep warm. Yep, keep warm. Keep keep your boots dry.
Yep.
And yeah. They'll say bundle up, wear a muffler, blah blah blah, and they'll keep doing that until they can't see you anymore.
Yep. Bye, ladies.
Being
Yeah,
a
Agatha gone.
being a
Yeah.
professional heretic, how much heresy does that Dreamcatcher look like title?
It's definitely heretical, but it's not it's not covered in pentagrams or anything.
Yeah, I'm adding all these charms to my bow. All
And
the
if you look
charms.
really carefully at the strings that create the net in the Dreamcatcher, how many pentagrams do we see out of those?
Oh, there's at least 5.
Roll for imagination.
If you squint, you can kind of see some things that look like pentagrams, but only if you hold it at like a weird angle and squint, and it's kind of like, is it a pentagram? I mean,
No, it's 5.
technically,
It's
but
5
not
stars
really.
of David. It's 5 stars of David.
Anyway,
It's
I'll
super
be
holy.
right back.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Pentagram.
Who the fuck is
Star
David?
of David has 6 points. Mick.
Oh, I can't tell how many points are in this dream catcher, but yeah.
Who the fuck is David?
Some guy that was holy, apparently.
How did he get so many holes in him?
I don't know. He might have been pierced by a spear, or maybe he was.
I don't know. He sounds to me like the kind of person who would collect the foreskins of 200 people.
What the fuck? That's a oddly
No,
specific
seriously.
detail. I know that's what he did in the
Biblically,
Bible.
that's what David
They
did.
asked him to collect 100, and he collected 200. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know that he was an overachiever, Gilbert.
An overachiever. Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Better
his
you
Saul
really
of
like shouting on
thousands
people
and
too.
David of tens of thousands.
Okay.
Yes, Saint David, who purged the elves from these lands and collected 200 elven foreskins to prove that he did the deed.
I mean, you would think the ears would have been sufficient, but I'm not going to judge.
I mean, they'd have definitely been better for identification.
Yeah.
I'm gonna judge. That's fucking weird.
I've never heard of David, but maybe Doc knows him.
I mean, elf hunting is a pretty strange profession. It's bound to spring up some strange folk. So I'll go ahead and reconvene to the party and tell them the information. It seems like we're gonna have to confront a Gunther fella, who is I guess you could call it the lord of these woods. We have no idea what type of context this individual, who he is specifically, but the ladies did describe those things that attacked Wilfred last night as his friends. It seems that he's the one responsible for moving us around as well.
So we're
Okay.
keeping the same.
So where is this Gunther?
In the forest.
Yeah. So it seems like he's the type of fellow to find us. That's what the ladies inferred, that directions will not be helpful to us. That if we just continue exploring, eventually this man will confront us himself. I don't know, honestly.
Moves up.
Yeah. We're pretty fucked.
So we're keeping the same code word, right?
What's the code word?
Revert, kill, help. All I remember was something about screaming Revert.
Revert kill them.
I don't think these ladies, I don't think killing them is going to make anything better for us. In fact, it'd probably make things worse for us. It seems like they were awful familiar with him. But the last time they visited was 7 to 11 years, from what I've gathered from the discombobulated stories of the ladies. They seem to kind of like rant a bit for about that. Called him a misguided young fella who was going through a phase.
You know who else gets called that? Cultists and insane psychopaths.
I'm not gonna deny
I
anything
am
from
wounded by that insinuation.
Wilfred, you're not misguided. You're just weird and creepy. Sometimes. Actually, a lot of the time. You are weird. You're really weird, actually. Do you even live in the city?
Yeah, he's definitely the weirdest person here by a lot.
Like,
There's the spooky clown man. Well, he's definitely not the weirdest anymore. Well, not the weirdest, but not the spookiest.
like Wilfred, I'm a professional heretic, but you're weird.
Mm-hmm. I do creepy shit in the woods. It's what I do, along with cutting down trees.
Like, why? Just shits and
So as you
giggles?
walk away from the witches, the snow starts again. It's light, but it's there.
I think Gunther's going to be the equivalent of God for the next few days for Agatha. Like, fuck, stop! Gunther! What the fuck?
Well, he'll probably come out to talk to us if we kill all of his friends, right?
I mean, maybe, but they seem to only come at night. I haven't seen any in the morning or afternoon. And at nighttime, visibility is super low. There's no way in fuck I'm leaving the safety of any hut that you guys make.
Wait. Do we have access to a spear?
A spear?
A spear.
I
Yeah,
got 2 spheres you can have access.
I got a
All right.
spear.
So, if we have access to a spear and we were to create the tiny hut again, we can now stab them if they're standing atop of our tiny hut, and then bait them.
I mean, range was never the problem. I mean, I got a longbow and I got like 60 arrows. It's just I can't see them.
Right. I've got a solution for that. I can't
Is it
remember
oil
Sleuth's
and lighting the
character's
woods
name.
on fire?
Pardon?
Sleuth's character. What's his name?
Idle.
Idle. You know Tiny Hut spell, right?
Yes.
Can you cast it tonight? I'm going to take first watch, and I'm going to be prepared this time.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
Is there anything that we should know about that preparedness?
If you
Other
wake
than
up
not leaving the hut.
and everything outside the hut is on fire, that's normal. Don't leave the hut.
Yes, I got that much yesterday.
Wait. So what you're telling me is when it's snowy at night with creepy guys in the woods, I shouldn't leave it.
Strangely enough, yes.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
You know, it's actually close to
mind.
lunchtime, so the temperature for the day at this point is starting to warm.
Well, I think we should head into the woods.
Yeah, you've been walking, I think, into the woods as you left the ladies. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much lunchtime, slightly after, maybe a few minutes after. And it's not at peak temp for the day, but it is starting to warm. And you are getting, at this point, kind of a wintry mix of snow and rain.
As long as it ain't hell, I'm fine with going.
This is sort of the weather where that might be more likely.
I'm gonna go ahead and have the shield ready at hand. Well, not on hand, but I'm gonna stage it to be accessible when that happens.
I'll be right back.
You don't think that this Gunther fella's some Wendigo, man, do y'all? It wouldn't
Something to
surprise me.
deal with cold. He is something to deal with the cold. I'd say a frost giant.
You said
Yeah,
those
probably
things in the
frozen
woods were
dead.
spooky humanoids, right?
Yeah, they had the faces of people.
I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that these things are Wendigo. I've only not read, but I've been read stories of Wendigos.
Isn't that a cannibalism during a
You
famine?
kill it with fire.
They're some type
Or
of
during the winter?
cannibalistic things.
Okay, I'm back. I have a thing I have to do real quick, but I am listening. So you guys are walking.
We're probably going to be walking north, since now we know that the lady's house, give us a sense of direction knowing that north is closer to where we want to go. I don't suppose direction really matters anymore, but that's what we should be doing.
Yeah. You guys spend the next several minutes walking north. You walk for half an hour or so, and with a passive perception of 14, whichever of you has that, Agatha, I believe, you'll probably be the first to notice that where the sun was on your right, it is now almost directly in front of you, and you're sure you've been walking in a straight line.
What? So it's not on top of us, AGR, because it's afternoon. It's directly in front of us.
I'm sorry, yeah, since it was, I have to reverse that because it is actually technically slightly afternoon. So it should have been slightly to your left, and it has actually gone, instead of being to your left, it is now not quite directly behind you, but something in that direction. It has to be mirrored because it's after lunchtime, and I forget.
So what you're describing is unnatural. I think that's what you're trying to tell me.
Here's the thing. The sun doesn't like strafe across the sky. So that's pretty weird.
Yeah, like if it was on top of us, that would be pretty normal because, you know, morning, afternoon, evening,
I mean,
it does that.
it is relatively high. So, you know, it did take a while to notice, but it is moved in a way that is not right.
Well, I'm going to reference Sir Jacob and Rever about the sun's orientation, and it's really fucking weird. We're probably going the wrong way now.
Well, if we know the sun is over there and it should be over there, then we should walk that way. And he points off in a different direction.
How long have we been doing that? Yeah, we'll start working there, but that was really weird.
Okay, you change your bearing and keep walking. All right. Yeah, you walk for I think being more alert to this, you walk for 20 minutes before you realize that the sun has shifted again. It doesn't seem like it's like moving in a hurry. It seems like it's sort of meandering in various directions. It seems to have like, even though you guys adjusted your orientation slightly, the sun seems to be like totally haywire, though. It's not, it did not move in the same direction again. It turned around and went the other way. But it is lower in the sky.
I suppose we'll continue to reorientate ourselves. I'll curse and be like, fuck! Please! Leave us alone! I want to go home!
You hear a woman screaming in the distance.
A woman. Does it sound like one of those three ladies that we've been talking?
Perception check.
Hello? Are you okay? How far?
I don't know. It's off to your right a ways. It's pretty hard to hear.
Is it more than 500 feet?
You don't know.
I can get a general sense of direction with archery training, I assume. I got 600 feet of range I can reliably hit.
I mean, you generally know that it's off to your right somewhere. That's most of what you can get.
Oh, that's right. We got partial visibility. I forgot about that. So I'm gonna like want to rush in really bad, but I'm gonna look at the sir. Is he objecting to me about to pursue?
He mostly doesn't like. He seems to be leaving this to you lot to manage. He has no idea. He doesn't like this. He doesn't want to be here. He didn't want to go in here. He just didn't want to be eaten by a dragon or set on fire.
Well, Agatha doesn't know shit. This is probably a trap, but Agatha's way too good-hearted to not just let it go. She'll attempt to pursue this and run towards the source of the screaming.
Okay, does anyone follow Agatha?
I suppose we better to keep her from getting killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay. So you run off to the right. Yeah, you run for about a minute. You don't see anybody. You don't hear anybody.
Hello?
The snow's picking up.
Are you okay?
You hear another yell. This time it's like somewhat to your left, like north from your current bearing.
Are you fucking with me, Gunther? Stop, please.
The snow is slowly picking up some more. Actually, at this point, it's mixed with some sleet, some
Yeah.
little hard tings against your shield. Things are hitting you guys and pelting you, but nothing large enough to deal any damage.
I'm out
You
of the
hear more
longbow.
yelling.
I'm going to send my owl in the direction of the yelling.
Yeah, let's everyone stay here. Stay where everyone can see each other.
I'm out of a longbow in one hand and shield in the other,
Your
starting to...
owl flies up.
I'm going to keep it low. Like, we're in the
Okay.
forest, right?
You know what? Have your owl make a con save.
Con save. What is the constitution of an owl?
Did you dump to 6?
I don't have dump stats on an owl.
Oh, the owl. Sorry.
Okay. The owl does not immediately die when it begins being pelted by this stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's going to get up in the air. It's pretty much grounded. It's like on the ground, trying to hide under you so it doesn't get hit by a stone.
Hmm.
God damn it, are we gonna have to set up camp now?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll ritual cast Tiny Hut.
I'll do my best to cover her with the shield while she's doing that.
Yeah. You do it. It's fine. You guys just stay in the hut until the hail stops.
Yeah.
It's the only sensible
Guess
thing
so.
to do.
Okay. Well, the stones get bigger into the late afternoon, but then they stop and it goes back to kind of a mix, and it goes to snow by maybe 6 in the evening, and it's maybe 5 in the evening. It's starting to get dark again. By the way, while you've been sitting there, you've seen the sun do a complete circle in the sky. Sort of a descending spiral as it approaches the horizon. Yeah.
God. Well, at least we have each other.
Do we?
You
Yeah.
all notice that there are 3 people missing. Not really, but the pikeman is gone.
What?
When did he
What?
disappear?
Wasn't he with us? Sir Jacob. I could have sworn he was like right
He's
abreast
gonna
to
look
you.
around and say, I think he stopped to take a leak.
Oh, for fuck's sake! After what happened yesterday, are you fucking kidding me? When?
Oh, shortly before we set up camp here.
Oh no.
It'd have to be pretty stupid to do that and then not tell anyone.
Yeah. Oh my
He is a
god.
pikeman that stayed with us.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Wait. We had 2 pikemen, right?
Yeah, one fucked off, got smart and fucked off. The other one stayed with us like a brave soul he was.
And
And he
another
just
one
Brave
got
but
murdered.
dumb.
Hold on. One
What
of them
was
stayed
his-
with us and is now missing, and then another one got taken out when we were in that weird pocket portal Revert has.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who are the other 2 missing people?
I
They
was joking.
departed.
I was joking about the other missing people. There was one missing person.
I mean, who knows, AGR? What if they're so missing we forgot about the other 2 people?
You are not fighting a false Hydra.
Is that sarcasm I hear?
So the pikeman's really gone AGR.
Yeah, he's real gone.
Well,
We
can
should
I
pray
see?
for his
Can we
red
see
shirt
anything outside the hut at this moment?
It's
I would
getting
assume
dark.
snow.
You have probably more than 50 feet of visibility, less than 100 feet of visibility. I mean, you're also in the woods, so it depends on which way you're looking. There's a lot of thick foliage.
There's no way
It's
he
all
would have
dead.
gone super far. I'll do a perception check to look for him.
Sure. You can't see anything. You see some of your own tracks back the way you came.
I can shout for him. Maybe he's still around and can hear with thermometer.
He must have gotten pelted during all that time. Oh my god.
You guys have probably a half an hour until nightfall.
Right. Yeah, so we should just recast the hut idol and basically just make camp here.
I'll start recasting the hut.
Okay.
After he gets hut down, I'd like to go and place some alarm and yeah, and then in the middle of the dome, I'd like to build a tower.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a mold earth style tower?
Yeah, just like a spire so that if I was standing at the very top of it, I could reach through the apex of the dome.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can take loose earth and make a pile of it. You'll have to manually, like the party will have to help you compact it since it needs to be small enough that it's not going to take up this whole space.
Right, and we can like put in
So
like
as you
bits
bring
of,
it up,
like,
people will have to
branches
help
and
you
stuff.
pack it into a spire, which will probably take the whole half hour. But yeah.
Right. Okay. All right, and I'll volunteer for first watch again.
I'll sit with him.
I'll take second.
Okay.
I'll also be with the clown.
I'll be with the clown as well.
Okay.
And I'm giving myself dark vision when I do that.
Who's going on 3rd and 4th watch?
I don't know, but Agatha does not want to be going to sleep while you're awake.
Just post the watch order.
Not out of fear from you, but out of concern that you might do something.
You mean that I'm gonna have to go pee again in the middle of the night?
I don't know.
I'll take third and have the owl on fourth.
I can take fourth.
Then I'll have the owl with me on third because I have a really bad perception.
Okay.
My horse is gonna be with me on fourth. Unless he's
Where's the
dead.
horse?
The
I
horse has a-
believe you resummoned your horse. At the end of last session, you resummoned him.
Yeah.
Your horse talked shit to me too.
All right, so I've got alarms set to mental ping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it gets dark. The snow stops about an hour into your watch. It's very dark outside, but the air is finally kind of clear. And it seems totally silent out there.
Okay. By the way, I'm taking my watch at the top of this crow's nest.
Mm-hmm. I figured. Yeah. You can see the stars above you slowly kind of rotating around.
Right, but that's normal.
Not in this case, no.
Oh, not that kind of rotate. Okay.
Yeah, they're spinning over your head like screwing a light bulb.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is turning as if from a point centered directly above you, in a strange and unnatural way, at a speed which is
Got
like
it.
problematic.
Okay.
It's not fast, but it's way faster than it should be.
Right. Okay. That's nice.
And yeah, that's it. I think first watch ends without anybody dying.
Okay.
Unless somebody would like to leave the hut. But you don't see anything. Your alarm doesn't go off.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just go to sleep in the crow's nest. Alarm is going to last for the full 8 hours without concentration, so it'll ping me awake if anything approaches.
Okay. Second watch. And that's the clown, Agatha, and Wilfred. This is a busy watch.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna keep an eye on the clown, because the only spooky thing in the woods that spooks Wilfred is spooky clowns that also live in the same woods that he lives in.
So within a few minutes of you guys starting your watch, you hear distant sounds out in the woods. You hear that same woman shouting. And in the quiet out there, you think maybe you can make out some words. Why don't we get some perception checks?
Oh boy.
Agatha, it's clearly a woman shouting about wanting to go home, and who seems angry and confused.
God.
Oh, that's hilarious. They're fucking mocking her.
Or it is her.
That or there's
See,
one hell
that's
of an echo
probably
in here.
true, but Agatha can't help but feel sympathetic. Oh, God.
I don't think that's what's going on here.
I-
But my perception is not high enough to figure.
Quick, you have
Agatha's
to
just
make the
going to
thing
be
scream.
groaning in agony. Do you... That's not real,
you
right?
having indigestion?
No. I hope there really isn't a woman out. You can't hear that screaming?
It doesn't sound familiar to her, does it?
Is it the same screaming, AGR?
With a 20, I mean, it's definitely a young woman screaming. I would say make an insight check. Yeah, you can't glean one way or another.
AGR.
I'm gonna tell myself that it's gotta be some fabrication from Gunther to fuck with me, to get me to go outside. I'm gonna tell myself that so I can sleep better at night.
Okay. What are you doing, Wolf?
Well, I was gonna ask, as a spooky woodsman who's spent most of his life in the woods, occasionally just watching people from them, how often is it that young women are wandering around like deep in the woods in the middle of winter?
It's pretty
got
unusual.
2 or 3 of them now.
But people do weird shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna chalk this up to spooky wood nonsense. This is probably not a real woman.
You think so?
I'm pretty convinced, as a person who spent his entire life in creepy woods, this is not a real woman.
Thank the gods.
Do you remember what the screaming was saying?
She just wants to go home.
Didn't you scream something like that not too long ago?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's
then either
probably enough to say that may or may not have been your exact words.
must be
Oh.
one hell of an echo out there.
Oh. Now Agatha's pissed. She's no longer concerned. She didn't murder some curses about
Place is
Gunther.
clearly screwing around with the fabric of space. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some time fuckery going on here.
Ugh.
Wait. If he can fuck around with space and time, can he make my dick freeze off again? I don't know what that thing
Well,
is.
I mean,
A chill goes down your spine.
a chill goes down your shaft.
I'm gonna forget I heard that.
Fair.
I'm bored.
Just
Wilfred,
remember.
Wilfred, arm
whatever you
wrestle
do-
me.
Okay.
All right. Contested athletics.
Agatha snaps Wilfred's arm and throws him out of the hut.
Oh, this.
Oh, Agatha gets tossed out of the hut.
Agatha, you
Can it be fair to
You
say
go.
that we do this in the center no matter what we do?
so you you go to arm wrestle Wilfred, and you guys you set up a little spot, and you hunker down real low and set up this little table with whatever assorted knickknacks you've got, and you start arm wrestling, and it goes for a minute where you guys aren't really putting any effort into it, and then you think, okay, I'm gonna get Wilfred here. I'm gonna wait, and when it's just the right time, I'm gonna go full force. And you decide to go full force about 2 seconds after he has done so, and you don't even realize you've been thrown or that your leg has completely toppled that tower or that you've flown outside until your face is like you're face up in the snow with half of you outside of the hut. And there is a gnome who has been tossed out of the hut, and you can see his hat. He's like dropped like a javelin directly into the snow, upside down.
I immediately grab.
I'm grabbing
I don't
I'm
give a
grabbing
shit
the
if he's-
gnome.
You're,
don't
you're
give a
so
shit if he's awake
shocked.
or not.
You're so shocked that it takes you a moment just staring at the stars spinning over your head out there in the deep cold.
The second
before-
I get my
ADR.
bearings, I get him and fucking right back on into the hut. I am running. Everything I can. I
AGR.
crawl. I sprawl.
So
I
how far away
grab
from
the
the hut am I?
Um, about 4 feet.
It I might have at least some of a solution.
I'm gonna
Well,
reach out and grab him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I be able to finagle some bullshit out of the skirmisher feature I have? Since Agatha was
You know you're not in
technically
combat
my
or anything,
opponent.
right?
I mean, it says when a hostile lands its feet within 5 feet of me. I'd say arm wrestling is pretty hostile.
Agatha didn't end her turn within 5 feet of you.
Ah, darn it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna reach my arm out there and grab Revert.
Okay. You pluck Revert up out of the snow. Revert, you have barely enough time to grab your hat as you are yoinked back into the hut. Actually, it's good you didn't cast the hut. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is good I did not cast the hut. This is part of the reason why I didn't cast hut, because I was going to be sleeping near the edge, ready to pop up and do some magic shit if shit went down.
I'd
Yep.
like to drag Agatha in.
Okay, you drag Agatha inside as she stares blankly at the stars.
And I'm going to start using mold earth to collect all that earth that just got toppled over inside our hut, and I'm going to stack it right back up.
Okay. You'll need help to get it all packed. But yeah, you can do that.
I'll be happy to help.
Mhm.
Watch isn't over anyway.
Brilliant is still sleeping.
Okay. I have
Once
a
you
new idea
guys
for the
all
future.
get inside and you like a few seconds pass, Revert kind of dumps the snow out of his hat and he starts to mold earth. You kind of all hear from various directions this faint sound of laughter.
I'm going to stop what I'm doing, because I'm remembering the hut is opaque to the outside. And then I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, what's the
I'm gonna-
range on
I'm gonna
detect
laugh
thoughts?
loud.
30 feet.
Yeah, you don't get any thoughts.
Okay.
I'll laugh with the laughter, because admittedly, it is a little funny.
Yeah, let's agree not to do that again. Whatever we just did.
Yeah, maybe we should institute like a no roughhousing in the hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No rough
We should
hutting.
also probably build maybe like a 2-foot, 2.5-foot high snow barrier along the edge to help prevent rolling out.
I could have sworn there was already snow outside that kind of does that.
Yeah, there was, but you guys haven't been burying your hut in the snow. You're on top of the snow with skis, and then you cast the hut.
Now that you mention it, are we just getting covered in snow every time we decast this thing?
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of pools in, like it falls in around you, and you have to stand near the middle to not get, like, waist deep in snow. Not waist deep, but, like, at this point, almost knee deep in snow. Although Revert would be completely covered in snow were he to go out there in his bare shoes. He would fall into it, and you would only see, like, the top half inch of his hat.
I imagine somebody will pick up Revert whenever we leave the hut and just put him on their shoulders.
He's been okay so far. He seems to be pretty resourceful.
So he climbs up on other people's shoulders and we just don't notice.
So, I have a question. How much time has passed? So I cast Detect Thoughts, no one's there. Is there still laughing coming from outside?
It goes on for 20 seconds or so.
Okay.
Does anyone have dice?
Like on me?
I have dice. Do you want me to roll dice? I'll roll dice.
No, character.
Oof.
Oh, do I get the
Ooh,
thing?
real bad.
Does the
That's
thing
real
happen,
bad.
AGR? Is this a day?
No,
I'll
no.
take that as a no.
I don't
Don't
have
worry about
dice,
it.
but I got some wood you can whittle.
Yeah, sure, that's a good pastime, I think.
I'll pull out a hunk of wood and hand it to her.
Okay.
I whittle the wood.
Do
Okay.
you whittle a whittlewood?
I'm not.
No, he's gonna
That's
whittle
advanced.
a lot of wood.
So yeah, you whittle until the end of your watch. Is that what happens?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna start whittling
away
an
at
ass.
All right. It seems like it's about time for Idle to take a watch. I mean, it's hard to tell. The stars are moving weird, and the moons are kind of like they're also kind of dancing around the sky real weird. At one point, they disappeared completely. They went like below the tree line in different directions, which is really unusual.
Man, somebody's fucking with the skybox.
And then they both came up from the same side after that. So, all right. Idle, your watch, I think.
So if nothing happens in the first 5 minutes, Idle's going to get real bored and just start small talking with her owl. It's going to be a very one-sided conversation because her owl can't really talk back.
Your owl turns its head completely away from you. Its body is still facing you. Its head turns completely out towards the wall.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who's she talking to?
An owl.
Who?
I'm not sure if that's rude or if that's good to turn the head away. Maybe that was so much.
You can't just like tell me to shut up or something. Gotta give me the silent treatment.
And so the watch goes by. Yeah. You're pretty sure. I mean, you're not sure how long it's been, but it feels longer than a regular watch. And after like a certain amount of time, it seems really likely it's been enough time to wake Beryllian up.
Borellian, I'm bored. Do stuff.
Huh? What?
I'm bored. Do stuff.
I asked my horse if he's still alive. Telepathic.
Nay.
Yeah, I mean, you left your horse outside the hut, presumably.
There's no way to have him inside.
Yeah. He's basically gonna respond with, "It's fucking cold."
Hey, look.
At least you're still alive.
His response is, at least you're still an asshole." He seems to not take the cold very well. It's really messed with his temperament.
My horse doesn't.
He's usually
like
a
cold.
very nice horse. And yeah.
I give him the winter cloak.
Okay, so you leave the hut and go give him the winter cloak?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Do it.
that's a nice gesture, but that covers like 1/3 of the body.
I give him the winter cloak and then I head right back in.
Okay. He doesn't call you an asshole again, but he also does not say thank you.
It's an improvement.
I don't really have many warm things. I just have this breastplate, and I don't think that's warm enough for you.
So yeah. You keep watch. And you watch. And you watch. And you watch. Make a wisdom check for me. Okay. After a while, you feel like you've been keeping watch long enough. The sun should have come up by now, and it's still dark.
I wake up Revert.
Okay, Revert, you are awakened. It
Okay.
is not currently your watch, and it is not light out.
Have I been enough?
Sun's late.
Have I rested enough to get a long rest? Have I got the 8 hours?
Yes.
I don't know if we're normally getting up before the sun rises, but shouldn't other people probably be waking up?
Yeah. So weird magic bullshit's going on. Don't trust the sun.
Is everyone being woken up?
I assume people are just waking up naturally because they've had a long rest. It's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. There's not really a mechanical reason that you're going to wake up automatically at the end of your long rest.
Fine, I wake
Immediately after. Yeah. Like, you're going to wake up eventually, but mechanically speaking, it could be another hour or two. Yeah, you start waking people up.
Why is it still dark outside?
5 more
The sun's late.
minutes.
Because your friend broke the sun.
God damn it. I mean, Vuthros, damn it, excuse me.
Son, what?
Shit.
5 more minutes.
Can I see what's outside, AJ? Or is it like dim light, or is it just dark?
It's
Dark,
pretty
scary,
dark.
dark.
It's pretty dark. The moons are not currently visible, so the light level is very low.
He stole the moons.
Oh, I can't even see 10 feet in front of the hut.
Don't worry, I got a plan for that.
Is it fire? It's always
It is
with you.
fire. How did you know?
It's always fire with you.
Yeah. So I pull up 3 of those flasks of oil. Get a little bit of a rag going down them. Get them good soaked in oil. I'm gonna light them on fire so they're like little portable, like they're like Molotov cocktail like torches.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna cast Tiny Servant at the 4th level on all 3 of them. One casting turns all 3 into Tiny Servants. Hey, look, guys, scouts.
Hey, that's super handy. Dude, those things have little hands are so adorable. How quaint.
And if a creature attacks it, it blows up.
Okay. So we're moving, I presume.
Okay, so yeah, there are now 3 tiny little explosive friends. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna make a perception check to see if I hear any music.
Okay. So you and after listening for what feels like it should have been long enough, you don't hear anything. But right when you kind of give up, you do very faintly, very briefly, hear a few disjointed notes that sound like it's probably the same music, but very faint, and something's not quite right with it.
Okay.
And it also rotates around you a little bit. Not like a full circle, but it starts off like behind you and kind of ends closer to your right ear.
Yeah, so I took a few minutes to try to listen for that music again, and it's very faint and moving. started behind me and it's now more to the right-ish.
We should just ignore it.
Very good. Well, I'm ready to go when you are, Chief. Since we got our light friends.
So what are you doing? You have your little magical flasks of oil that are alive. They seem like they're really enjoying being alive, by the way. They're
Good.
probably playing and goofing around with each other. They're like playing patty cake, and one of them's doing cartwheels around inside the hut.
What are we doing?
Well, we just need to find a way to get a fixed navigational direction and go that way. Fuck this forest.
Maybe we should walk in a circle to counteract the circle we're being spun in.
Well, how do we know that that circle is not going to stop being spun in that same direction?
We keep looking up.
It's super dark.
We
But there
can
are
still see-
stars, right, actually? Can we find
yeah,
the
there are
North
stars.
Star or something? Is that a thing in your world?
The sky's moving and unreliable.
Yeah, I mean, there is a brightest star, which would traditionally be the North Star, but you can literally see it circling around like it's circling the drain.
Might I propose a more brute force method?
Just
We
keep going
ensure
forward?
that we walk in a single direction. At night when we camp, we mark down the direction we need to be heading that we saw when it was still daytime. And during watch, we have a person on watch and another person who keeps an eye on that mark. And then we line that up with some of the equipment we brought to ensure that it cannot be altered by whatever weird illusion-y shit's being used here.
You're saying the breadcrumbs, basically?
Kind of. Except ones that will point us to where we need to go.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm thinking, guys, we keep the scouts out there and just have them kind of patrol around, and we sit our asses here.
Well, we got plenty of food.
Whatever the fuck his name is, he can come and talk to us here. He obviously doesn't want us coming to him. Fine, fuck up. He can come to us.
That makes sense.
We do have snow here, so we should be fine on drink, too. Yeah. This is gonna be really dull, isn't it?
Yeah. So Robert's going to spend the day just sitting on his ass, working on his scroll.
Okay.
And like, while you're working on that scroll, I think Agatha's gonna be like, hey, can you do your, like, magic stuff to make some dice? I'm super bored.
She says that, and you see in the background, you just see these flasks of oil that are on fire still, going wee as they just run around in a big circle outside the camp.
Yeah.
I mean, it was entrancing at the first couple of hours, and after that, it's just kind of like, oh.
So, actually, if you're doing that and you're watching that, you look up while you're asking him for the dice at these flasks going wee, and one of them runs around, and for a moment as they run past this spot in the woods, you think you see a humanoid shape.
Could I do a second take? If I can't, I don't bother.
This thing's running around the camp, so you can wait a minute for him to run back all the way around. And yeah, he'll pass by the spot again, and the humanoid shape is gone.
All right. Oh, I know what I'll do. I will attempt to whittle a dice. A very poor.
All right, I get sick of
crude
him
idea.
like just constantly badgering me for a die. So is there like a big rock somewhere?
I got a torch right here. I mean, like that should be
Yeah.
sufficient.
Is there a big rock somewhere, AGR? Like a bowling ball sized rock?
To bash his head in with?
You can't even lift a fucking rock. What is he gonna do with it?
You know, there was actually a little dent in your hat, so presumably you think you might have hit something hard. So yeah, there's probably a rock out there where you landed
Okay.
earlier.
I go
or
out there and I cast Fabricate. And I make him a 7-sided die the size of a bowling ball. And tell him, here, you can have fun with this.
Okay,
What?
there you go.
What sort of fuck contraption is this?
You wanted a die? Here's a die.
How is it even 7-sided? And how are all the things even? I've never seen this before.
Magic.
Well, when you
Precision,
figure
no
it out,
bohemian.
I'll be right here.
I think Agatha will be taking the rest of the day to figure out
Is it
what,
even possible to make a 7-sided die? I don't think
that's
you
what
can.
I'm thinking at the moment. I'm like, what?
Yes, there is such a thing as a
Is
7-sided.
it a 5-sided?
I don't think there's a polyhedron that has all like similar sizes that has 7 sides.
It's a heptahedron.
There you go.
Whatever that is, Agatha's going to be parsing that for a few hours. Oh,
All right.
and then it hits me. What is Idle doing?
Probably either sleeping or trying to talk to her owl. She's very bored.
Can you teach me how to write? Or maybe read. Maybe read. Read your spellbook. That'd be neat.
I can. That's not really something I would really do in the field, but I can.
Just to pass the time.
Sure.
If you're trying to take downtime out here, that requires a roll. So I don't mind if you guys want to craft a scroll or spend a day learning a language, but there is an actual survival roll for that.
What's the survival roll for? We have tiny hut.
You do have a tiny hut, but you're out in the field without supplies. You know.
Well, I
and
have my
that's
scroll making
That's just how it goes. It's
supplies.
easy because you have tiny hut, so you don't have any of those like weird terrain problems.
Okay. I'm just not sure what I'm rolling for, you know? Like literally, he can fabricate a fucking desk. If he's actually going to cause a problem, he's like, I'm not doing anything today. He'll just fabricate like a desk and a chair to sit in and do this inside of the hut.
I'll be honest, that's pretty reasonable. But give me a minute.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, really, it's just about having a comfortable place to spend your downtime and the materials you need to do it. And if you can fabricate them, then I don't see a lot of reason to make it. Let's see. Are you also going to be helping them with anything? I don't know what they need for teaching to read. You guys already have reading
Don't know.
materials.
I made the dome for them, so they have a nice, comfortable place to do stuff. I'm in like the center of the dome.
All right.
And
I
got
you know,
like
I
a
figure
field
with
desk
what
and a
you're
chair.
asking for, you have the materials. You have a comfortable place. It's not perfect. It's a little cramped, but sure. Yeah. So it's 24 hours in a safe and comfortable place. So you have to spend the entirety of this casting time in the hut and not doing anything other than your downtime.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. You guys can take a day of downtime to work on a scroll or work on learning to read or whatever. Okay. Is anyone else trying to do anything with their downtime?
How's our food stores looking?
You guys killed
we
an
have-
elk not that long ago, so you had several days worth of food.
The elk also had gentle repose so the meat won't spoil, which I can just ritual cast at the end of every 10 days to keep it fairly fresh.
Yeah. Also,
And the outside is a freezer right now.
yeah. I mean, that might do damage to it, but it's not going to spoil in a hurry. So, yeah. Honestly, I think your day of downtime goes okay. What are you guys doing? You have to stay in the hut if you're taking a day of downtime to do something. So, what are you guys doing for your like bathroom situation for this entire time? You're stuck in the hut together. You guys using a pot, and then one of you unlucky saps emptying it out. What are you doing? You're all trapped in a confined space together for a long time here.
I mean, we could just have.
We're all
training.
confined in if we're all confined in a real tight space, I want to point out that Torment does not shower.
We'd have to recast it at some point, wouldn't we?
I mean, the downtime requires 24 hours, and it lasts 24 hours. So I will give you that one casting will give you the 24 hours you need, but only exactly. So.
Hut lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
8 hours. Oof. So yes,
So I was going
someone
to say,
will have
when we're
to
recasting
miss
it, we
their
can take a group
downtime.
bathroom.
Yeah, someone will have to miss their downtime and keep it recast because you do need that to happen regularly.
Well, it's just a minute to set up a tiny hut with a spell slot, right? And 11 without?
Yeah, but you can't be doing that in order to get the downtime.
Yeah.
It's like rest rules. If you cast during it, it doesn't count.
It's worse than rest rules, really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Well, since I already sort of ruined my downtime by making the giant fucking dice, I'll just keep guessing the hut.
All right.
Oof.
Giant mathematically impossible dice.
Yes.
The dice is a flavor item. I can hand wave. You don't have to.
But I did cast Fabricate to make it.
How heavy is this
That takes
dice?
10 minutes.
How many pounds should I have in my inventory of die?
Like a bowling ball chunk of rock. It's like 25
Yeah,
pounds.
That stone is in the ballpark of 20 to 30 pounds.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure it has some kind of hollow inside of it, so it's not quite as heavy as it could be.
This could be an interesting gift.
20 to 30 pounds of dice.
Yeah.
You know, we could engage in some recursing right now if we wanted.
So, yeah, your day of downtime goes by. Yeah, it's still night.
An entire without sun.
Yeah, the stars actually seem to be getting dimmer.
Okie dokie. I think we just do the same watch order.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So first watch, Revert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have your guys outside running in circles?
That also only lasts for 8 hours.
Oh, so somebody has to go retrieve them because they.
Well, at
They
like
go in
7
there.
hours and 50 minutes, that would have ordered them to come back. They do follow my commands telepathically.
Okay.
So I don't have to
That's
go and
fine.
collect the bottles.
They come back and they're all they seem suddenly sad and they like give each other hugs and they start to do this thing that you're pretty sure is crying moments before they all revert back to regular bottles.
Yep.
Don't you mean revert back to regular
Band.
Some Alice in Wonderland shit. When I feel sympathy for some bottles of things.
No, I'm just kidding.
They had a good run.
Yeah, and they'll probably be back. Yeah, they're just sleeping.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, first watch goes by. It's dark. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything.
Alarm doesn't
It's
go
just
off.
no alarm goes off.
Okay. Second watch, I wake up the next guy.
Okay. That would be
Clown,
Wilfred
Agatha,
the
and
Clown
Wilfred.
and Agatha.
The
Yes.
Three Stooges.
Okay, guys. It's dark and it's quiet. It's very dark.
I have
and
dark
very
vision.
quiet. Okay. I mean, it's still dark and quiet. I mean, it's pretty much shades of gray, but
Yep.
you know, only one shade of gray you see, which is pretty much the very very distinct shade of gray that snow makes in the middle of the night.
It's the clown's turn to leave the hut.
Yeah, it's pretty dull. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay.
something that just hit me. Could I wake up the next watch?
Right now or at the end of your watch?
At the end. At the end.
I mean, both would be yes. The answer would be yes, but it's not the end of your watch.
Okay.
Yeah, so your watch continues. You're all incredibly bored. You've been up and stuck in this space already for like a long time. This has kind of a BO thing going on. And it's not very pleasant. I think everybody has been using the same bucket, so you know. Fortunately, you have prestidigitation among you, but nobody's feeling very fancy and fresh at this point. But you know, your watch winds on, and it's really miserable in here. Robert, you awaken to the sound of a handbell. Also,
A handbell?
handbell. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, Borellian, you you awaken to some sound that is something of the sort. It's similar to "oh fuck," but it seems to cut off before the end of the words.
Well, I look around for the idiot waving a bell around because I know I cast alarm with a mental ping.
I look around to see if everyone's still there.
You okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's correct. No, you do get a mental ping, but it sounds the same.
But it's
You would-
the alarm bell, not some random ass handbell.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. It sounds like a handbell, but it sounds like the alarm spells handbell. It's
Got
just
it.
in your.
Okay. Then I wake up, and without sitting up, I cast Detect Thoughts. and I search for non-party members within 30 feet of me.
Okay. Let me ask, how far away from the hut did you park the horse?
Like real close.
Did you give him express orders not to meander?
No.
Okay. Yes, there are thoughts within 30 feet, briefly, and you don't get very much of them because they move out of range. But it sounds a lot like Hungary when it happens.
Oh, god damn it. Who's up on watch? I look around.
Us three.
You see the fucking clown is awake.
Yep.
Where's Agatha and Wilfred?
Yeah, they're awake as well.
Okay.
They seem pretty bored.
Hey, I think you're up. Is that good?
I give Agatha this flat look like, no, it's not fucking good.
What do you
Why the fuck
want?
would I get it if it was good?
I don't suppose you had a crazy idea in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, I got a
I'm trying to
crazy
be
thought in the
optimistic.
middle of the night. Of course, it was some other entity's thoughts that said hungry. And he's looking right
Oh.
at Wilfred, and he said, I think they want seconds. Don't leave the hut. I'm going back to bed.
Where? Can I shoot?
Out there, and I just like wave off in a general direction. I just pick randomly.
I'll go ahead and shoot haphazardly
Okay.
up there. Wait,
Roll damage.
wait a second. Before I do, I try to listen for music.
After several seconds, you hear a tiny hint of music. It
Is
doesn't.
it?
It's very faint and it moves and it's still discordant.
It's not in the same direction I'm firing, right?
No, it starts almost directly behind you.
I'm gonna hold off on shooting. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, never mind.
When Revert mentioned hungry, I'll ask my horse, "Hey, do you see anything around there? You still alive?"
You don't hear anything.
Hey guys, I think my horse died.
Yep, some things out there are apparently hungry.
Well, it's not like I can get in here.
So, those of you with dark vision can tell, but only barely, that it is starting to snow again.
Well, it's snowing again.
How can you tell?
And then I look at him with my dark vision.
Your eyes
Is that,
don't look
is
any
that
different.
visually apparent when you have that active? I can't remember.
I don't know, your pupils are more dilated than you would probably expect to see. They're like huge, but yeah.
How do you do that?
I'm a mug.
Oh. Just gonna stare at them for a couple of seconds.
Actually, yeah, fuck it. I'll make my eyes glow. I can also do that. I mean, not
Spooky.
glow, but I'll just make them a different color.
Spooky.
I don't think
So,
I've
Revert, you go back to
ever heard
sleep.
any monks that
Yeah.
can do that.
Okay. After about 5 minutes, the alarm bell goes off again in your head.
I wake up and I cast Detect Thoughts again.
Okay. You get the tail end of a thought that involves. It's not all words. There are words. The primary word you know is hungry, but then there's definitely also the idea of a horse and the vague idea of like horse bad food, hungry.
Who's on watch again? right now?
That's
Is
us
it
three.
still the
It's
Clown
still
Watch?
the three dudes. Yeah,
Yeah.
still the Clown Watch.
Okay.
I'm probably seeing Agatha being enamored by these eyes. Can you teach me how to do that? We might be here for a long time.
Okay.
It goes off again.
I'm going to delve deeper into this creature's thoughts if it's within 30 feet of me. It
Okay.
needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, one moment.
Little did you know it had spell turning. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that passed.
Yeah. I mean, its surface thoughts are see you, hear you, eat you. Find you.
Message is not, in fact, a concentration spell. Can I cast Message Addicts? I want to speak into its mind.
What are the requirements for casting message?
You point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message.
Doesn't sound like you have to be able to see it, and you probably know its general direction.
Probably,
Not
given
its exact
detect
fit.
thoughts and
Oh, yeah.
stuff, right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to send it a message. I see you.
You just really hear the same thoughts back about being hungry, just much louder thoughts. Like the thing is now like chomping at the bit.
Agatha, what's the name of that fucker we're supposed to be meeting out here?
I don't know. Sir Jacob knows.
No, the name, the voodoo bullshit guy. Gunther, okay. So I then cast message again. Take us to Gunther, and I'll give you lots of food.
It does not, like, its surface thoughts don't seem to be processing that information. It does not seem to really understand the concept of bargaining. It just hears you speaking and knows you're there and wants to eat you. Like, it seems like it at some point possessed the ability to comprehend these kinds of ideas, but it does not any longer.
Oh, crap. Okay. River says it out
Your
loud, by the
alarm
way.
goes off several more times.
Okay. Any other creatures within range to detect thoughts?
Yeah, a lot of hungry ones. They all seem to be responding to this one. It's probably like a body language cue, if you had to guess.
I cast this hut, didn't I?
Yep.
If you can detect them, what are they like thinking in response to that?
Oh, probably some variation of food.
Yeah. It's really just
Fucking
like
ethics.
they seem emotionally to only really have one mode, and it's hunger. They are excited about the prospect of a meal.
Does
Actually,
sound
you're
leave the
probably
hut?
getting some pictures as well, and the pictures are mostly tearing into like carcasses, like tearing open rib cages. You can hear kind of a little in your head, like the snapping of bone, and like it's not.
Okay. I have an idea. I'm gonna pull out a bottle of oil and tell Agatha to be ready to shoot.
Lovely.
I'm going to light it, and then I'm going to cast Tiny Servant on it, 3rd level.
Okay.
And I'm going to direct the tiny servant to, and then, so here's the question: is does it count as a magical effect going through the hut if I cast it on something on a creature inside the hut that then leaves the hut?
Well, you cast a magical effect on an object, which then became a creature in the hut.
Right. So if that creature was to attempt to leave the hut, would it cause problems?
It is likely that the magical effect would end.
Fuck. Okay. Then I would not bother casting Tiny
Fair
Servant.
enough.
I'm just going to lob the Molotov at the Nothic. Or at least what I think is a Nothic.
If she's going to shoot outside the hut, I'll give her dark vision.
Because that is a mundane flask of oil.
Okay. You know its general direction. Just make a blind attack with disadvantage.
Area of
Did I
effect.
hear a thing about dark vision?
If I have
can give
any
it
doubts
dark
as to its
vision as well.
location each year, I want to aim long because I want it to be silhouetted by the fire behind it so Agatha can get a clean
Gotcha.
shot.
I gotcha.
But taking that into account, so this would be what, a dex attack?
Yeah.
Why do we think it's a Nothic?
I think it's a Nothic. I haven't told anyone else this.
Ah, okay.
Okay. We
It's
have a
not that
modifier.
one.
It is not a nat 1.
Okay. The throw, honestly, looks like a good throw, but the just the way the bottle spins, the lit end ends up under the rest of the bottle. Flame catches quicker, and it explodes midair. It barely makes it out of the hut.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Gumbo gave me dark vision, unless I'm
I did.
mishearing that.
Okay.
If you have another one of those, I can give it to Reverend as well.
I
think
also
it's
have dark. I
concentration.
already have dark vision. If I can't see these things,
I
it's
mean,
dark vision.
yeah, it's
That's right.
the visibility is very low. They seem to have shown up around the time the snow started back, and the snow is making it hard to see.
Oh, okay, I see.
Hmm.
Are they still there, or do they scatter one night?
No, they seem like they're still chomping at the bit. As a matter of fact, you feel like there's more of them, and some of them are coming from like behind you now.
Great. I pull out bottle number 58 in preparation to throw it.
Okay.
And to do the same thing. Shall I again roll?
Yeah. Disadvantage, man.
I'm not trying to hit them. I'm trying to hit an area. Like I'm just lobbing these
Yep.
things like grenades to.
You toss it out back, and directly in front of you. So a couple of figures dart away and become impossible to see very quickly, but you do see highlighted 3 separate silhouettes of hunched over, sort of humanoid shaped creatures.
Can I
Can I
count
see
as
anything
many of them
dark?
as possible with Archer, Action Surge, the things? I
You
want to
may
give
make
a very good.
single reaction attack.
Are
Did
there
your-
any of them within 5 feet of each other?
Yes.
Then I do get 2 with Archer feet.
So do they actually get lit up enough that we could see what they look like?
Especially those of us with the dark vision.
Like behind them is lit up, which puts them in like a weird silhouette. So what you see, I mean, they look like pale, naked humanoids.
Okay.
Do I have advantage from them not being able to see? I suspect that they can't see us.
Sure.
Hurrah. Well, I'll sharpshooter it. Why not?
By the way, her eyes are not like any different color.
I will go ahead and use both of the superiority die I have.
Okay.
Okay, the first one's a 23, the other one is 21.
Both hit.
One gets 22 piercing, the other one gets 18 piercing. Both
Okay.
are treated as magical, despite
Yep.
coming from a mundane arrow.
Yeah. They take the hits and sort of they move onto all fours and sort of they dart off like sideways away from the flame and out of sight.
I got him, but they fucked off.
Yeah, those were both clear hits, center of mass.
Do I sense
Did
any
we
more in
not-
range?
Yeah, more and more of them in range. And they are coming
Excellent.
from various directions. Yeah.
Did we not shoot the exploding flask?
I mean, there's a space that is like on fire briefly
Oh, okay.
outside, but that's what happens. Yeah.
I think it's time to wake up the rest of the party.
Oh, we're gonna deal with this finally?
Yes, I think we are.
Wouldn't the explosions wake us up anyway?
They're not detonations. They're more. I mean, it's they're Molotov cocktails.
Breaking glass and
They
burning.
deflagrate. They don't explode.
It's an incendiary, rather than an explosive.
Unfortunately, I have not yet cracked high explosive frag grenades in D&D.
One day. Give him time.
Nah, Revert would totally go for flashbangs first. He could have loads of fun with flashbangs.
Well, yeah. I think that's probably the stunned condition.
Tiny Servant plus flashbangs. It just reaches up and pulls its own pin.
It waves with the other hand.
Hey, you guys! Bang!
Okay, so you awaken everyone.
Yep.
So the flame is put out by the snow after a few seconds, by the way. By the time everyone's up, they barely see the flame as it gets extinguished.
I'm passively looking around and will be more than willing to take a pot shot at any hostile I see outside the hut.
Sure. Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Is it compensated by the dark vision I was given?
That is why you get to make a perception check.
Or would you look at that?
Okay, yeah. You see a little bit of movement. You can't clearly see, but you're pretty good at leading a shot, and you have enough to go on to make a shot.
Is it clearly not a typical humanoid in shape? Does that give me enough to go on?
It is a typical humanoid in shape, but its gait is not like a humanoid's. It
Good
does
enough for
not
me.
move like a human.
Single target, single shot, or how do you want to do this?
You only see one target. You have one shot. It's disappearing into yeah. So you fire, and Agatha probably wouldn't have any idea if she hit. You fire into the space where it looks like they should have been a moment later. You may have hit them, you may not have hit them.
I'm guessing no damage is required. I know as a player that probably didn't hit.
If it makes you feel better, you can roll damage.
Nah.
Okay.
I think the rest of my watch is just going to be me, like, just out there in my porch with a shotgun, like, oh, look. It's a varmint.
So do they all fuck off, or are they still coming from Detect Thoughts?
They seem to be running around the space, like they vaguely know where you are, but they can't get at you. They
Okay.
seem like they're searching the space for things to eat.
Do people have ranged weapons? I ask aloud.
I raise my longbow.
Okay. So I have Detect Thoughts running, right, AGR?
Mm-hmm.
We're inside a hut.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a general idea of where each of these guys is, right?
A general idea. Yeah.
All right. Then I would like to cast Major Image, projecting just inside the surface of the hut, around everybody. Colored rings floating in the air, pointing so that if they shoot through them from their location, it will hit these enemies. And since I have Malleable Illusion, I can update the ring's position as they move. And basically that's everything Revert's doing in combat, is he's just managing the targeting system.
Okay. Sure. Fuck it. I have no problem with that. Many colored rings show up around the edges of the dome. They are large rings, certainly larger than the creatures are because he doesn't have their exact location. So you may make attacks through that, and they will.
To avoid confusion, everybody's hands, our non-dominant hand is now glowing a color, managed by Major Image. That's the color rings that originate from your position. So we can avoid cross-shooting.
So everybody has assigned rings to shoot.
Yes, color-coded.
Lovely.
So
Okay, yes, you
have-
may all make shots. You will be making them at disadvantage, but you all have enough to go on to make shots against these creatures.
Do I have a rough count of the enemies?
You have to limit it to a handful of rings at a time because there are too many and you would have to cover the entire thing in overlapping rings.
Okay, fair enough. I prioritize on the biggest, smartest feeling ones.
None of them. None of them are the biggest, smartest.
Probably go closest then.
Will it actually be running on
The
flat
strongest
rolls?
the strongest one is directly above you.
So I don't have a ranged weapon that isn't magic, but I do have a lucky ring for allies to re-roll with.
How many
what
times do we get
ranged
to-
weapons are you using?
I've got nothing.
I am throwing daggers.
Okay.
I'm not going to toss my good hand axes unless I can be sure I'll hit something.
All right, roll damage.
Are we running on flat
Am I
rolls
also
since they
rolling
can't
sneak
see us
attack?
and we can't see them?
You are making your attacks at disadvantage.
All right.
Did you say
Am
there was
I-
one directly on top of us?
Yes, there is one directly above you.
AGR, do I get to apply my sneak attack to this?
Yes,
Okay.
I know you're at disadvantage, but it's a weird situation.
I have set my arrows
That's
ablaze
why I
since
asked.
we have some more time to actually do this.
Yeah, I mean, you can light your arrows as you fire them, whatever. All right. Jot all that down. So yeah, these rings are moving. So you take your shots, and the rings where you aimed are still moving.
So I suppose we're going to keep on shooting until we're
You can continue to shoot, because they have no means to attack you. There's no need to roll initiative. Okay. That's still a hit. Roll damage. Okay. All right.
Did the 18 hit?
The 13 hit.
Oh. Okay.
There. These are all creatures that you can hit with a 13. Okay, so all right, so the first one of those rings stops moving. Suddenly, all the other rings stop briefly and then begin to converge on that ring.
Oh, disgusting.
Oh, we got one
Wait.
of them, I think.
Wait, do we have an AoE? Someone, once they all stop moving, someone, peek
How-
out there and toss an AoE.
How much of my body do I have to expose to toss a spell outside of the...
Some.
A pinky.
A substantial enough amount that you will be at risk. I
So
did
we just have to
allow
wait.
it to be a pinky for one spell, but that was also a
For the
mostly
meme.
like a goof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cantrip.
If I know where they are, and I can hear everyone, saying that they're prepping Idol to go out there and cast an AOE. Can I, give him the safest location to exit? Oh, you use
yeah.
the hologram
You can
basically.
you make a little holographic archway off to the side to be like, okay, dart through this space. Yeah, you can do that. It'll be off to the side. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's not perfectly safe, but it maximizes distance to them while also providing the clearest possible line of sight, which won't exist once she's out there anyway.
So yeah, I'll step through the safety archway.
Okay.
And
It's fucking cold. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Mine is not very good.
Look at that.
That is good.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to send a fireball 20 feet away from the hut in the direction of the gathering of the creatures, and then duck back into the hut.
Okay. Fair enough. One moment. Well, you can roll damage for your fireball. Firstly,
I hope you upcast it.
Can I upcast it?
nice. I mean, if you can upcast it, I will, say you can upcast it. I'm not telling you you cannot upcast it if mechanically you can do so.
Okay.
Nice. All right, there's a whoosh, and many things seem to explode away from this central blast point. A humanoid seems to be slammed into the hut. By the way, as Miss Idle is moving back into the hut, you're going to get a ping from Detect Thoughts, Revert, and then another one, and then two creatures are going to jump you as you're trying to enter the hut. So you're going to incur 2 quick attacks, and then you, if you're not immediately gibbed, then you can get in the hut.
Could I fire in retaliation since I have dark vision?
I mean, there will be circles for them, so you will be able to fire. But
I mean, they're right at the hut, unless you can't see with dark vision.
I mean, yeah, whatever. You can shoot them. Hold on. Oh,
fuck me.
And okay, those hit you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is this against poison or disease?
Oh shit.
No.
Okay.
Like a champ.
Nice.
That would have killed me 2 weeks ago.
Oh, good.
Those are my retaliatory shots at them.
Those are both hits.
As it stands, I make it back to the hut with 3 health.
Nice.
Holy shit, you got more HP than I do.
I immediately run over and give them.
Yeah,
3 or
Miss
5 lay on
Idle
hands.
runs back into the hut, covered in huge gashes, where something has tried to claw at her. Okay.
Take 35 lay on hands.
Okay. Neither of those creatures stops moving. They both charge up, away from the hut, and towards that explosion point. And then several more creatures move towards the point where that explosion occurred.
Oh shit.
Just let me know when I can
They
see them.
seem to be converging on a couple of spaces now. There are groups of them converging on a few locations. But all of them are around that blast point.
Do it again.
However, how safe would it be to do that again?
How clear does it look?
I mean, the range on your detect thoughts isn't that great. So
Yeah.
a lot of these guys are at the edge of it, even there. Like they move out of the edge of it. You see them all converging on these points, but they're like the ones
Okay.
on the far side disappear.
So Revert's response kind of go, "Eh," and he like tilts his hand back and forth, like it'd be risky.
I have spell points for cure wounds if you get hit again.
Okay.
What if we tie a rope to her this time? That way we can just, yank her in.
I'll be fine. I will. Robert, tell me when and where, and I will shoot them again.
I'll do that.
I'll be close by to pull her in case something bad happens.
And then on Revert's signal, I'll just do it again. Pop out in the
Okay.
safest area. Send another 4th level. Love.
Roll damage.
I'm out, guys. I'm calling it.
All right,
All right.
mister.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Bye.
See, mister.
Okay, nice. Yeah, several more of those guys go flying, and that group, the part of the group that is not immediately killed, they start to scatter. Some of them moving towards some of those other converging points, and some of them moving towards those spots where you saw bodies fly to. And then I have to do this again.
If they're making opportunity attacks, I would like to portent one of them to a 4.
Okay.
Oh, do I also get attacks?
Yes. There are 2 of them. One of them rolled a 4, so
The 9 is going to miss, but not by much.
you take 12 slashing damage, and I would need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, you are paralyzed.
I think one of them is getting oofed.
Yeah, it looks like. That does not lethal either one of them. So
Barely Idle's in trouble. Pull her into the hut.
Yeah, like that's why I was near the wall. I pull her back in.
Okay.
I assume
Fair
I'm
enough.
getting another turn if
She
this is still
She is
continuing.
going to have 2 more attacks made against her as she is pulled away.
Does this mean I have a full round, HR? This is no longer a reaction.
You will
This
get.
is me continuing.
If she's getting pulled away, I don't
Yeah.
think that would trigger opportunity attack.
It doesn't. They have time to do it.
Oh,
You have
okay.
time to make
Yeah.
attacks.
Yeah.
There is a delay before you're like, oh shit.
These things are fucking fast.
I assume neither of those hit her.
No.
I would say that. Oh, you know what? She's paralyzed. They have advantage.
Uh-oh.
And are they crits? They're crits, right? Did we
They
determine that last time? Okay.
Yeah. Paralysis
Yeah,
causes crit.
hits within 5 feet are crits.
Okay.
So miss with the double 3 and then
So
hit.
that's 2 hits, 51 damage, and if you're conscious, you need to make another save. I mean, you're paralyzed anyway, so I guess you don't have to make that save.
Idle is no longer conscious after that second hit.
So
Cure wounds.
You may now make a full round of attacks. Go ahead.
Barely, and don't use your action to heal. Just pull her in. We can wake her up when she's inside the hut.
She is inside the hut. I pulled her in.
Yeah.
That's why she got
Pulls
attacked.
her in, and the attacks go off. So go ahead, make it.
are they within 5 feet of each other?
Yes.
Can I get in on this too?
Sure.
If we still have the targeters up?
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's like all of my combat actions are just.
So hit, miss, hit.
I'm basically holding an
making-
action to adjust the illusion for after they move.
Wait, these are at advantage now?
Well, I could see because they're super close range, and I was given dark vision.
But we're
Ah,
making melee
okay.
attacks.
Do you have advantage for another reason? Did you do a thing?
I assume they can't see me? You gave me advantage last time.
Okay, that's fine.
I used cure wounds for 15.
Okay. Everything 13 or higher hits, folks. Okay, they die. You are shooting corpses now. More creatures converge on the location where those guys died. Right
Hey.
outside the hut, you see many humanoid figures hunched over, like snarling, covered in blood, devouring their own dead.
It's free
Ah.
real estate. Agatha says to her.
What kind of humanoid? Like, are we able to see more clear features?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, we get a picture this time.
Woo, we get pictures.
Huzzah.
That's the real victory today. Even if we all die, we at least got a picture of our opponent.
All died. No, we're not all died. Revert's going to live through this thing, even if the hut comes down around him.
Actually,
He's
do we have
gonna
more
fuck off
bottles
with a
of,
rabbit.
Molotov cocktails? We could probably just lob one of those at them now, since they're nice and close.
It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Your weapons will do more damage than those will. I was using those for light.
Are we in melee range? Or are they in melee range?
Probably. I mean, they died right outside the hut, trying to maul Idle.
Hmm.
If that second crit did moderately less damage, Idle would have been conscious after that.
The tanky wizard, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the radius on a tiny hut?
Say again?
Yeah, you have a lot of HP.
What is the radius of a Lehman's tiny hut?
10 foot.
Man, 51 damage. I would have 1 HP at full if that hit me.
Doesn't look like that. Except they're
Oh,
totally
okay.
naked.
Out of curiosity, is there a mix of sexes, or is it primarily one or the other?
There are both, but primarily, they are mostly male.
By a substantial margin, or just like a
I
like
mean, you know, you might need some more time. Like, this is not a good time for a census.
Is there any reason
Fair
why I shouldn't shoot Revert? Everything I can see.
No, please do not shoot Revert. Shoot the ghouls.
Naturally. Whatever the fuck they are.
activating kill program stabs Reverend.
God fucking damn it!
Before Meta left, he left a trigger word.
So I assume it's free real estate AGR.
Yeah. 3 hits. How many arrows do you have? I hope you're marking them off.
Yes, I am. I don't know how many I had. I had 28 previously. I have 19. I'm about to use 3 more.
Rats.
Okay.
Do you want me to do bulk rolls or individual arrows?
It's up to you. Are you targeting 3 targets?
That would be at least 2 per round.
Okay.
With what do you call it? The archer feat.
It's up to you. You should tell me if you're focusing on one target or not. First, though, like, I'll give you a hint. They have less than 40 hit points.
Okay. With the archer feat, I must shoot a separate one to benefit from that. So this will be 2 arrows at one, and then 1 arrow at the other, and I'll be doing that for the foreseeable future.
Okay. I think you know what happens to that one.
That one gets oofed.
All right. You hit that one.
Hey, Revert, you can fabricate more arrows for me, right?
If I had 10 minutes of free time, looks
Yeah,
around.
I'm just worried about later. I got plenty right now.
All right. This one dies.
At what point do you want me to stop?
There are still many of them out there. You can see 4 of them, and there are probably more just slightly outside of your view.
I'd like to take care of the ones in view.
Okay. So that's another kill and a maiming. All right. I'll go ahead and assume you're efficient and you fire the good shot at the one who is not injured and the bad shot at the maimed one. That's another kill. And maiming. That one's dead. And that one's dead. So there's a pile of corpses over there. there are definitely still guys pinging with detect thoughts, and you can see those corpses moving at the edge of your vision, like right past. You can see things are like dragging them slightly away, and like you can see pieces flying off of those bodies, like there's something ripping into them, but you just can't make out like very much. Occasionally you see a couple of like talons, like claws and things ripping at these corpses.
Yep. I got 5 regular arrows left, 23 bodkin, 20 blunt, and 59 silver. Well, if I don't have clear sightline, I won't bother.
I'm still doing the
Okay.
ring thing.
I feel like I'm the only one doing this out of character as a player. I don't want to bore people.
I mean, there are still creatures out there. Those rings are still moving around, but mostly they all start to converge on this spot where all of these guys were shot, and slowly you start to see more of them appear on the sides at the edges of your vision and pile in kind of closer and closer around that pile of corpses you left.
Yeah, at any point that I get a clear sight line, I will fire. But I feel like this is going to be a zombie horde thing that I cannot address with the arrows at hand.
I mean, do you fire or do you not fire?
If I need the rings, I'll probably fire a couple times.
You can see more of them. More of them move into spaces around those guys after a few minutes because it looks like they finished their other meals and they file in. There's probably 6 you can see now.
Then that is my answer.
Okay. All right.
Let me get a script so I can expedite this.
So look, here's the deal. You are usually going to hit, and there are many of these guys. So why don't you mark off as many arrows as you're willing to use on them and post it to me, and I'll tell you if you use that many to kill them all.
Silver arrows mean nothing to me. My bow's already magical. I'm willing to use the last 2 of my standard arrows. And then
Just note it
19.
down so I can record it.
If Sir Jacob's not using them, he was given 40 regular arrows with a short bow.
He wants those. He's not using them right now, because like out of character. I don't want to sit here and batch rolls between DM and DM. But you can assume he's shooting off in the other direction, taking pot shots at some of these guys. His shot's actually not that great.
That's what I'm willing to use.
Okay. Well, it takes you on average 2 arrows to kill one. So let me see here. So you can kill the 6 that are around there. You can kill a handful more. I'll say you get 15 just to err on the side of you doing a little better. And yeah, there are not very many out there at this point. Revert, you do definitely see that there are a couple of pings still over there, but it's very quiet now. There are only a couple of them.
Yeah, I let the party know that there's only a few left, and I direct shots at them.
Very good.
We are winning.
Sightline, no sightline, AGR? Or rings?
There are rings. The pile of corpses is like providing them with some cover, it looks like, because you could occasionally see some movement, but it's on the far side of a pile of corpses, which is a couple of guys high.
Would you consider that half cover?
Yes.
Does Idle know enough about a giant eagle to polymorph someone into one?
I haven't seen a giant eagle, but you've seen a rock. It's a shame.
I do ignore half cover, thankfully, with the sharpshooter feat.
Yeah.
So, disadvantage shots?
Sure.
Actually, these are turns, right, AGR? Could I Fighting Spirit to mitigate the disadvantage?
If you'd like.
I would like. I don't think I did that right. That's impossible.
D20 plus 4, and you got a 3? I don't think that sounds right to me.
Okay. The second one is a 14, thanks to the keen longbow.
Yeah. Well, 14 is a hit, man. How's that feel?
Feels great. Instead of hitting an ally accidentally, I oof something.
You do oof something. Get one right in the head.
We're gonna long rest after this, right?
Nah.
This is our long rest.
I don't think I'm getting a long rest at my AGR. I'm doing most of the work.
You've been working that arm, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm already in it, so I might as well just commit.
So there seems like there's one more you can see and one you cannot see.
Oh, there's one I can see?
Yes, there's one more you can see.
Can I re-roll 2 of those, then?
Alright.
Those would be re-rolls, so I assume those 2 would hit the one that...
Yes. I'm pretty sure you double tap it to death, but we'll see.
Probably.
Technically not dead. You did hit it in the head, though. Twice.
Turn it into a Stegosaurus.
Can I still see him? Or
Yeah.
did it get smart?
It's
No, it did
easier
not
to
get
see it
smart.
now because it's got these 2 arrows sticking out of its head, flagging it very, very nicely.
How convenient.
Hmm.
Huh.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's for one shot?
Yeah. The third shot hits right between the other 2 shots, and the head of this thing cracks open like a melon. And it just flies like it falls backward. There is still one creature out there, you're pretty sure, although it is now moved slightly out of range of detect thoughts.
So he can't assist me with a ring anymore, right?
Yeah, the rings I think are I don't know if there are no rings. I think there are no rings.
Okay. So nothing in range.
Yeah.
All right, we did it, guys.
I think that last one got away.
Yeah, fuck him.
That was a lot of fucking kills. I wish you could see.
Not to worry anybody, but my everything hurts.
Cure wounds.
We barely stabilized her with like a handful of HP.
Idol is bloodied. Idol is still bloodied. No, that brings her right over.
Agatha is tired.
Do you want more cure wounds?
She probably wants all the things you're willing to give.
So, let's see. Idle, I think your near-death experience cancels your rest, which I should have done to Wilfred before, but I was nice. Agatha, you did too much stuff to rest. I think everybody else, I don't know, the illusion was going on for a while, but that doesn't seem like it's as much work as the rest of that was.
Okay.
So I think I'll give you a gimme on that one. Yeah, and I think the healing is okay. I let it slide last time. I'll let it slide this time.
So
Yeah.
all of us complete a rest?
Nope.
Agatha
you do.
and Idol do not. I kicked too much ass.
All right.
You did. You did.
Do I get my stuff back?
Yes. You finish your rest. I mean, I assume you guys finish your rest once the enemies seem to be gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Rever, can you do me a favor? If you ever do that, like, Molly fire friend thing, could you have them retrieve any arrows that I shot? We'll probably need them, and I assume you don't want to go out there and fabricate stuff. I am very tired.
You say that, and then you look over and you realize Rivert's already in his bedroll asleep.
Can someone tell him that? I'm fucking tired.
You're the only one awake.
And so, yeah, your rest ends, and the sun, as a matter of fact, comes up.
Could I have benefited from at least a short rest?
The short rest would have been prior to the horrifying everything happening, which you didn't need it at that point. So.
Oh wait, this happened at the second shift, didn't it?
Oh, it did, didn't it? Okay, sure. You can have a short rest.
Hurrah.
Is everyone back to full health?
I am.
I'm
So,
happy.
yeah. At the end of your rest, the sun finally comes up, and it hangs in the sky low. This very early morning, as everyone wakes up.
Why do I feel like we're gonna get days of sunlight?
You know, I'm going to put a bet on this. I will bet that today it'll be perpetual dawn.
But that would mean the day would never end. The day would last forever.
Exactly. We just had a night that lasted forever, and now we'll have a day that lasts forever.
So
The light
I
didn't last
don't
forever.
know about
Hence
you
the day.
guys, but I'm still tired. If there's nothing you need me for right now, I'm gonna go back to sleep. Idol's gonna start ritual casting another tiny hut.
Yeah, if we don't need to go anywhere, I'll be happy to sleep in a bit.
I'm gonna resummon my
Sorry,
horse.
I had to collect my surprise 1 a.m. pizza.
Lovely.
It's the best kind of pizza.
I
about
resummon
to
my
ask.
horse.
Okay, your horse is back. Your horse says next time the rest of you can sleep outside.
Are there corpses still outside? Or did they manage to scrounge them all away?
There's a mound in the snow, which you assume is probably corpses.
Can I do a perception check for any movement in the corpses?
Sure. Okay. You don't see any movement.
I'm gonna wait for the tiny hut to be cast.
Is someone recasting it?
I am.
Okay. Tiny hut gets cast.
We still gonna hunker down here?
Do you have a better idea?
I mean, we could try to keep going and find this guy.
I just want to get my arrows, maybe some wood for fabricate.
I think we should try to track the ghouls back to their lair.
There's a mound of corpses there, and I assume blood from the survivors.
You don't
Trail
see
of-
any blood.
No blood. Wait, are they bloodless? There's no blood from the corpses either?
You don't see any corpses.
But you said there was a mound of, like, still bodies,
There is
right?
a mound in the snow.
Ah.
It's been snowing all night.
Mm. Well, it sounds like we want to sleep in for a bit. If we're going to do that, I'll go ahead and get a proper rest then. I'm good either way.
Alright, well, you'll need what? 6 hours?
Well,
Something like
if it was
that.
interrupted in the second shift, then 4.
Oh, there you go. We'll call it 4. That's fine with me.
I'm happy with that. Huzzah.
Okay, you cast the hut. You guys wait around for Agatha to catch up on her beauty rest until she wakes up because the sun hasn't moved.
Wait, it's staying perpetual dawn?
Has how are you feeling, Idol?
My everything hurts slightly less, so that's good.
Do you need more healing?
I won't say no to more naps.
Give me a number.
3.
3.
What number do you want?
How much healing do you want?
I mean, I'm
Yes.
not dying or anything.
I heal you back up to full health. How much do I heal you?
20.
Great. I give you 20 hit points.
Okay.
Any
Very
more
good.
pain?
Do you need a hug?
I won't say no to a hug. Actually, I would for a lot of people. But you're okay.
I'll hug Idol. That was kind of crazy, wasn't it?
A little bit. That was really painful.
Yeah.
So far, we
So
had.
where are you guys at right now? It's um. Are you in the hut outside? It's like, I mean, it's dawn still. It's very gently snowing.
I'm asking the people with better tracking skills than me to see if we can't track the ghouls back to their lair.
I'm gonna look to the spooky woodsman. That's probably his line of business.
You're just saying that because he's a woodsman. Racist.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a guardsman. I don't track. I'm like, hey, what are you doing over there? You know, and I stop him right there. I don't track him.
I'm a paladin. I just smite and heal.
I'm a clown.
Amen.
That's mighty helpful.
I just creep
Don't worry,
around
I
in the
hate
woods.
it too.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear the loud sound of like tree branches and crunching snow as snow begins to fall out of several of the nearby trees, and it creates this sort of blanketing effect on this portion of the woods in front of you. And it's like an avalanche out of the trees, just snow pouring down. And when it clears,
AJR.
the terrain behind it has changed. What is it, Wilfred?
Never mind. It passed. I was about to say I would like to use the avalanche to hide. If I'm close enough to, use it as a way to enter
Sure.
stealthiness.
Sure. Make a stealth check. Yeah, and also a con save.
It's still
Here's-
that inhospitable outside. Oof.
Here's the stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the con save.
Okay. You take 22 bludgeoning damage as you bury yourself in this avalanche, and no one knows where you are.
What?
You
I was just
are
talking to the man.
blinded.
I was
You are
just
blinded and
talking to this
restrained.
man. Where did he
Your
go?
passive perception is too low to see.
Where the fuck did he go? I was just talking to him. What the
You
fuck?
looked away for just a second and he was gone.
God damn it!
You are blinded and restrained, and
Wilfred!
you are now suffocating.
Wilfred!
Oh fuck!
Could I have looked in the general direction of? Could I have looked in the general direction of where he
You
last
don't know
was?
where he is.
I was
but
just
now,
talking to him.
Listen, you don't know where he is, but now where the snow came down, there is visibly like a crevasse and a cave.
Huh?
The avalanche came down in a sheet. All right. Snow fell out of the trees, and when all the snow settled on the ground, behind it, the terrain had changed. The forest behind the snowfall was completely different, and now there is a cave back there.
Is it in the same direction that Wilfred was last seen?
Yes.
I
bet Wilfred went in the cave. We should go in after him.
Yeah, I'm worried about him. Can you get those things to light up the cave? So I can do good work, but I can't do good work when I can't see.
Sure, I light some flasks of oil on fire and cast Tiny Servant at 4th level. So we get 3 fire scouts.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as he does that and the tiny servants go away, and I'll go after them.
Okay.
So I'm looking for Wilfred, and I hope to God he hasn't gone far.
All right. Yeah, you go into the cave with the tiny servants.
Wilfred! Wilfred, this isn't funny, you fucker!
You hear a woman shouting back at you that this isn't funny, you fucker.
I don't even think I need to make the inside check to know that it's my echo.
It definitely sounds like you, but the delay is all wrong. It's not your echo.
AGR, am I able to attempt to get myself out? Is there a check I'm able to make for that?
You are currently suffocating.
Is there a die slower check?
So the wind got knocked out of you. So you don't have a very high con in the first place.
This is
So
true.
you're not like you're just out of luck, pretty much.
Okay.
Like,
I check.
yeah. I was gonna give you a few seconds, and then yeah, you can go ahead and make your first death save.
Woo!
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Woo!
What the
As
fuck?
the party ventures into the cave. That is a failure.
Christ. That was
When I
where
muted
Wilfred was
myself-
last seen. God damn it!
When I muted myself, I had to mute myself so I wouldn't be blowing your ears out because I was laughing hysterically. This is great.
And he
Do
was
you
never
wanna
seen
die?
again.
Do you want to die? Gilbert, do you want your character to die? Give me something,
Mick,
come on.
Mick, I just roll with what happens.
Jesus Christ. Wilfred! Fuck!
My horse is still outside the cave. Does he notice anything?
Yeah, he tells you that that pile of snow is moving.
I inform the party and start running back.
It's more ghouls.
Wait.
Set them on fire.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Are you?
They must have gotten behind us.
It's an ambush.
So I guess I'm gonna be like, what, huh? And I'm gonna look one last second in the cave before starting to rush back into the hut and then
Repeat
wherever
that,
the
please.
party.
I look at the mound of snow. What does it look like that the horse said is moving?
My internet's cutting. Hold on. Try again. One at a time.
He said that his horse said that the snow was moving. I turn and I look. What do I see?
From where you're at, nothing. Or you're in the cave, right?
Yeah, I followed Agatha then.
Yeah. You're like, the cave treads slightly downward. You can't see anything but sky outside.
Okay.
So was this place back at the tiny hut, outside the tiny hut, the other side?
Horse didn't say.
So I'll do that. I'll go back to the tiny hut and go outside the tiny hut.
Okay. The horse is hanging out by a big pile of snow that you would recognize to be the pile of snow where all those corpses were. And it's moving.
That was moving. I'm gonna look elsewhere.
Okay. It's snowy out here.
I
That
don't
pile of
think-
snow is moving.
I don't think my character would have had any reason to suspect.
Was that the corpse pile?
Yeah,
The corpse
that was.
pile it's kind of got this thing where it's kind of rising up and like moving slightly.
Fireball.
It's not like okay.
At this point, I'm starting to
Just roll
slowly
damage.
egress back into the hut.
I nuke the snow pile.
Into the hut?
The hut's gone.
Yeah, the hut's gone.
Oh. Well, I'm still backpedaling
Okay, you
with a
nuke the
bow
snow
ready.
pile. Roll damage. Okay. You blow open what appears to be a very thin blanket of snow covering an engorged ghoul, which seems to have feasted on many, many of its brethren in the night. Its belly was distended, and you blew it open. There's ghoul bits everywhere.
Oh, that's gross.
Got it.
Great job. Where's Wilfred?
I don't know. I thought he was in the cave. Let's go get him.
Death save. Okay, you're awake. You may make an athletics check to dig your way out.
Nah, one.
Okay. You guys turn around to go back in the cave.
May I
And
do it
you see-
stealthily?
Okay, sure.
Roll the thing.
Oh, okay. I don't know. He didn't say to roll anything,
Yes,
so I
you do
wasn't sure
roll.
what. All right.
Okay. So you all walk into the cave, yelling for Wilfred.
I tell my horse to keep an eye out.
Okay. What's your horse's passive perception?
Not high enough. The only creature that
11,
would
I
be
think.
able to pick it up would be the owl. I don't think the owl's even looking at that direction.
Yeah, it seems like the owl probably tagged with that idol.
The owl's tagging along with me into the cave.
Yeah.
It's my emotional support owl.
The silent treatment emotional support owl.
Okay, so you guys continue into the cave yelling for Wilfred. It's dark in the cave.
What was Wilfred even wearing? Like, would he stand out? Did he have armor on?
I think he had a heavy acton.
I'd like to point out
Don't-
Agatha's the only one yelling. Reverend's just looking.
Mhm.
Because if this thing hunts by sound, he wants Agatha to be eaten, not him.
Agatha's way too concerned about Wilfred to be concerned about her own safety. Wilfred, where the
Yeah.
fuck are you?
So it's like dead silent in there as you guys walk and walk down basically a straight, slightly downward incline. And after a while, you reach what's almost. Well, actually, I suppose I'll need a like a quick perception check before I finish that sentence.
From who?
From whoever's in the lead, which is probably you, given
Yeah.
that you're the one calling out. Okay. You see that where you are walking in the dark, the tunnel ends and becomes a vertical shaft.
As in straight down.
Give or take a couple degrees, yeah.
Guys, stop.
Now, Agatha, did you make this hole?
Yes, I made this hole. With fucking what? Where the fuck is Wilfred?
I don't know, maybe he fell. Reverend looks
Can
over
we
the
see how
edge.
deep it is?
Fuck me. God, don't say that.
What's the limit of your vision?
60 feet.
Well, I mean, it's deeper than 60 feet.
I'm gonna light a torch and drop it.
Okay. Your torch drops. It drops. And it clanks to the ground. The drop is probably 80 to 100 feet down.
Oh god. Do I see blood? I don't see blood, I assume.
I mean, you can see color, so yeah. I mean, because you have the torch down there, so I will tell you, yes, there's blood.
Fuck.
How far down is it?
It's hard to say exactly 80 to 100 feet.
Does somebody? Do we want to go investigate?
I can get down there safely, but not back out.
I mean, Wilfred could be down there, like, bleeding out or some shit.
I can get somebody down and up as long as it doesn't take more than, I think, an hour.
I
What,
got
what are
100
the
feet.
walls of this made out of? Stone or earth?
That's stone.
I got 50 feet of rope.
I got 100 feet of hemp rope.
There you
And
go.
I have
we'll
a
use those.
grappling hook. I got
I have
some
spider
python.
climb.
Great. So
can-
we can
I
we
can
can like
teleport.
pound a grappling hook into the ground up here, let the rope down, and we can just climb down the rope.
Yeah. That
And then we
sounds
also
good.
have a way back up.
Yeah. I feel like I should be the first to do this.
Go ahead.
Can someone help me secure this grappling hook?
That sounds like a job that needs muscle that I just don't have.
Sir? Does the sir respond? Does anyone attempt to help?
I missed what you were saying. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what you expect Revert to do.
Yeah, how exactly are we securing?
Oh no,
this?
I'm not referring you as sir. I'm referring Sir Jacob as sir.
Sir Jacob is going to say, I'm sorry to say the man is probably dead. He wouldn't be the first to disappear here. We should be sticking closer together and keeping a better eye on each other.
If it was you, I would go after you. I'm doing this.
Look,
Help me
something in the
secure this
cave is obviously fucking with us, so we need to go, we need to find it, and if it won't be reasonable, we need to end it. One way or the
We'll
other.
make it reasonable. However, we got to do it.
I see no other way than down.
Brilliant. Can you help me secure this grappling hook?
I help secure the grappling hook.
Thank you so much. You are a godsend.
Okay. Sure. You guys can secure a grappling hook up there. There's enough surfaces you can use.
I'll be the first to go down, and on the way down, I will occasionally put a python in at 10-foot intervals.
Okay.
The flasks of oil are also going to be hanging on to Agatha as he goes down, because I don't want them to be touching the rope directly, just in case.
Agatha feels very uncomfortable with this.
Just, don't smash them, you'll be fine.
She doesn't say anything. She just frowns and glares
By the
at
way,
you as she
every
goes
time
down.
you go down, they all three of them start going, wee, as you, rappel down a bit.
So you make it about 30 feet down, and you hear a male voice below you yelling, "Hello?"
Wilfred, are you okay?
Well, I guess we won't know.
He's gonna yell up, "Sir Jacob! Anybody?"
I'm here! Hang on!
Does this sound like Wilfred?
Does this sound like the pikeman now that I'm thinking about it?
It does.
Oh my god! Hang on!
So are we all up at the top just going like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah. I mean, you can hear that voice coming up.
So I look at Sir Jacob and I'm like, this is obviously a trap, right? I'm not the only one thinking this.
How
Sir
long?
Jacob is shaking his head in the affirmative. It's an obvious trap in his opinion.
Hey, are you okay?
You say, "Do you have any food?"
I have food. Are you okay?
"Hello?"
Are you listening to me? Do you have any broken bones?
He's gonna yell, "Where are you? I can't see you."
Is this enough grounds for me to suspect something?
Are you still climbing down while you're
I
yelling?
mean, I stopped midway as he's continuing to.
So you
like-
make it like halfway down.
Yeah, we'll say halfway.
I mean, it's hard to tell if the person can hear you. They say they can't see you. There's a torch down there, so they might not have line of sight on you down there. It's
Yeah,
hard to say.
but they can certainly hear me if they're responding to me. They're not talking over me, are they? They're responding to my sounds.
I mean, they seem like they hear something. It's not clear whether they're responding to your voice or like whether they can tell you're speaking or whether they just hear something. You can hear them, so presumably, if you keep up a volume, they would be able to hear you.
I'm gonna look incredulously down there. Are you okay? I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
speak it
say-
loud and I'm gonna speak it
He's gonna
slowly.
shout, "My arm's pretty bad."
What's your name? I never got your name.
Timmy.
He's gonna yell, "There's something in here."
Guy? So I'm gonna look up. Can they hear what I'm hearing? Do you guys hear that?
Was anybody watching Agatha as she descended?
Yeah, I said I was looking over the edge.
Okay.
She
yeah, so
does
you
have the
see-
3 flaming guys on her, so she
yeah,
should be
you
emitting
see
light.
Agatha, you see Agatha look up and ask you,
Okay. And do I see the guy at the bottom? Do I hear the guy at the bottom?
you hear the same things she hears. I mean, you can't hear him as well, but it's coming up the tube.
Yeah, we hear him. Obvious trap is obvious. Be very, very careful.
So what are you doing?
I'm not doing this alone.
You've got 3 guys with you. You're good.
No.
They all 3 of all 3 little canisters on you start
Brilliant,
telling you in
don't
these
do that.
squeaky voices, Agatha. Yeah, we can take them.
I'm gonna try to object to Beryllian getting on the rope.
Why?
Because the rope might not be able to handle that much weight.
Then you go down to the ground and then I'll go down.
So Berlin is on the rope now.
No, he was about to, but then
Okay.
he was told not to.
Okay, so you don't get on the rope. Okay.
There's,
Agatha, are you descending? Or are you staying stationary?
I am staying stationary.
Okay.
There is no way I'm going down there alone, not even for 6 seconds, when there could be a horde of things waiting for me to go down there.
Would it make you feel better if I came down?
That thing, the guy's gonna yell, "That thing is in here! Sir Jacob! Somebody!"
I think.
Yeah, it would make me feel better if you went down with me, Revert. It would.
Alright, I guess fly myself and start flying down there.
Okay.
I'll descend down and start swiftly piking the pittance.
Yeah, you place pitons as you go.
10-foot intervals.
Well,
Going
if
down,
anybody-
just like
Okay.
If anybody else would like to expedite the process, Idle's just
Alright.
going to.
So, all right, Revert, you descend.
Yeah, I make sure, like, I'll go down with Agatha, but I would like to keep, like, a 15-foot space between us in case there's issues.
Yeah. As you approach Agatha, Agatha's already about halfway down the tunnel. You make it about halfway down. You're not yet within the sphere of the light of your friends, and a thing happens.
Okay.
A shadowy hand reaches out from the
Towards me or towards Agatha?
towards you, and it passes through you, but you can feel a chill.
Yeah, so all at one, those three little things are going to point up at and be like, oh, look out behind you! And that's how I dodge it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Fly gives me a 60-foot fly speed.
I'm assuming Revert's fucking off. And that's my cue to get the fuck out of here myself.
Revert dives. Full
You
speed.
dive.
All right.
Yeah, and as I'm passing Agatha, I'm basically telling you, Agatha, fast rope the fuck down now.
I do the thing.
Okay.
Fuck the Pythons.
So you guys are still up top, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are you guys doing while this happens?
When Revert dives, I'm just going to gesture to the edge and then hop down and featherfall on myself.
Okay. You do the thing. Beryllian, what are you doing?
When she touches the ground and is off the rope, then I'll start rappelling down.
Okay, you begin rappelling down. All right, Gumbo. What's the clown doing?
All right, if there's room on the rope, then I'll start going down at the same speed as everyone.
I was expecting Gumbo just to fall down slow fall.
I
like
can
a
do
fucking
that.
mad lad.
Gumbo makes his way down. All right.
And
as
when I'm within
Beryllian
60
makes his
feet
way
of the
down.
ground, I'll just teleport the rest of the way, assuming
Okay.
there's room.
One moment. Okay. Agatha, you make it down safely. Revert, you make it down safely. Miss Idle, clearly you make it down safely. Beryllian and Gumbo, you have a slight complication, as a shadowy hand you cannot see unlatches the grappling hook. So yeah, you've got pythons for handholds. But the rope falls.
That's no problem. I'll just fall.
All right. You slow fall?
I don't have slow fall yet, but I can teleport between darkness, so I'm just going to do that once I'm within 60 feet of the bottom.
Actually, I do believe you have slow fall starting at level 3.
At level 3, I do?
Yeah,
oh,
pretty sure.
I don't see it on my thing.
It's either 3 or 5, I don't remember, but you should have it by now.
I thought it was like 7 or something.
I would have to go check, and I'm too lazy. But you can get down, so pick your poison. All right.
Oh, nope, here it is. Yeah, I'm
Level
just
4.
going to slow fall. Although I don't feel like doing the math on that. I can just do the teleport thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Off in the distance, you hear the sound of Agatha yelling, "Fuck, fuck, fuck, fuck." And then you hear, "Go home, go home."
Yeah. So I'm going to drop concentration on Fly and cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm gonna have my longbow at the ready, because fuck this. Can you get your friends out of my back? Are they moving?
They're I never told them to move, so I think they're still clinging to you, still yelling like fighting words at everything around them.
Hurry, get these things off me!
Well, hold on. I think AGR is going to do something, and then I'll give them a command.
And then I get brutally emulated.
Then a hand comes and like crushes you and all of the bottles on you.
This wouldn't be the first time I got fucked because of the gnome. We're thinking AGR is doing some like epic DM bullshit behind the screen. He's actually eating his pizza.
Probably.
I finished my
Yeah.
pizza a while ago.
I forgot how Slowfall works, but apparently we'd have to like actually roll for the damage and then do the calculations if I was gonna. Because Slowfall reduces the damage by a flat amount, but fall damage in 5th edition is calculated with like a D6.
Okay. So you cast detect thoughts. Let me see what let's see. You can read the thoughts of certain creatures.
Yeah,
Focus your mind on
like
any
the
one creature you
pikemen.
can see within 30 feet of you. Does this? I thought this had like an area. I've been using it as if it had an area.
It is an
I
area.
see. Focus.
Second
it's-
paragraph.
Right, you
okay.
can. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. There are thoughts within 30 feet of you, like right behind the rest of the group, right where you guys drop down.
Like in the stone. Is that what you're telling me?
No, not in the stone. You guys drop down into the middle of a chamber.
Right. So which direction? Because I know when you say behind you, which way am I facing then?
You are probably facing, I'd say, what, northeast? But it's basically directly below where you guys drop down. The thoughts.
Okay, what's in that direction visibly?
The rest of your party, but also one additional individual.
Okay. Is this just a chamber or is there like a cave deeper in from here?
So this is a dark. It's like a 15 by like 45-foot chamber, but it looks like it continues on to like northeast ahead of you.
Right, so I'll just point in that direction and just be like, all right, guys, go scout that area. And the three guys are going to hop off and you'll hear them go, yeah, charge! And they just go running off in that direction. Flames leading the way. And then I'm going to focus.
Just so you know, the thoughts you detect, behind you are like, I don't know, they're like spooky. Just
Is it
like
coming from the
somebody's just
pikeman?
playing that in his head over and over again.
Is it coming from the pikeman?
No.
No. Okay. Can I do I have a location of where this is?
Generally, you know that it's right, like in with the group, and it's like really close. And yeah, you can't see it.
I think I'm gonna wait for the rest of the party to get down before I start moving that torch.
Everybody is down.
Including
the whole
the
party
sir.
is standing in the everybody's downing and in the middle
All
of
right,
the
so
chamber.
Revert is going. No, I want to focus on these thoughts using the detect thoughts and try to basically read its mind. I think it has to make a wisdom save for that.
Okay, 1 second. All right, hold on. Okay.
That failed.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yep.
Do 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 do. I will be right.
All right. So everyone sees Revert's eyes narrow.
All right.
And he's going to he's gonna say, "Oh yeah, okay, we're all good."
Huh?
We're all good.
Alright.
Yep. Yep. We're all good.
Is it the spearman? Is Wolford here?
You're gonna hear the spearman's voice from that cave northeast of you, yelling, "Sir Jacob! Anybody? I thought I heard you."
So
Is Revert stopping? I mean,
no,
I still got
yeah,
the bow
no.
in my
He's just
hand.
like, well, obviously we need to go that way. Did the flaming guys like? How far ahead have they scouted at this point? Like, can we see the entire chamber to that
Oh, yeah.
direction?
They run up towards the north edge of the chamber. I mean, you can see the chamber pretty well. I think they probably string out so you get the most visibility. The
Mhm.
chamber is lit up for the most part between the torch and those guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and light up another torch. I have a bow in one hand
Okay.
and torch in the
Is
other.
there any other creatures here? Any other ways out?
Actually, on the far end of the chamber, there's a lot of bones, and there is blood. Like down right where you're standing, there's blood. Most of it's pretty dry, but the whole floor has this weird shade of brown, where it looks like there's a lot of dried blood around here, and there's
But
like
no ways
weird
out.
streaks in it, and yeah, there's only one way like to go other than back up, and it looks like it's the northeast passage.
Okay. We should probably search those bones.
I'm gonna get a spear and poke around them.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
do intend to use all the reach of the spear, by the way.
there's a wide variety of bones in here. There's human bones. There's clearly animal bones, like deer, little tiny rabbit bones. There's just bones of any kind of creature you might have expected to see in these woods. Um, bones that look like they might have come from a fox. Bones that look like they came from birds. But yeah, there's there's a number of human bones scattered among them.
What are we
Not
looking for, Revert?
Anything that shouldn't be here?
Does that
Probably
include
us.
us?
Yeah.
It's more if I was hiding in this room, pile of bones would be mighty convenient.
All right. Well, I'll attempt to thin out the layer of bones, section by section.
I mean, it's really spread across the whole floor.
Oh,
It's
okay. I thought you
not-
meant like it was a pile.
It's it's not
Clean
like
floor and then pile of bones. I'm like, yeah, we're checking that
it
pile
looks
out.
like it looks like something has been leaving bones here, but not sorting them or like throwing them in a pile. It just looks like
Okay,
something
so there's
has been
no-
eating things and leaving bones to rot.
Right,
It
so
has
there's no
not
pile, there's nothing to conceal anybody.
Yeah.
Alright, well, obviously we need to head to the northeast passage, guys. And I direct the flaming bottles to lead the way, followed by Agatha.
Idle's just gonna look around for a couple seconds and, which way is northeast?
I'd point to the only way out of the chamber other than up.
All right.
Hey,
And I think as you guys make your advance, we will call it there.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for DMing, Ichiro. That was a lot of fun.